record. It is 12 o'clock, right on time, and I'm starting. We are able to pause to talk, like you seen in the first video. That's this whole thing is about. I'm learning it too, and I want to have it good enough to be able to help. As you heard me tell Ms. Haygood, we're hiring a staff member whose job is going to be purely helping the people that have been through this process get the copy, which is the wording, the way that they want it, and then get it to Nona, and we're gonna run ads. Naya and Kempire, y'all stuff is gonna go one or two ways. It's gonna be either y'all gonna be receiving ads just from the Shaheed marketing that's need to be built, or Shaheed's gonna he and I are gonna talk, and you with him. If you do the work too, we're gonna set you up with your own ads. So the y'all's may work one or two ways, right? So we'll figure that out as we do the whole process. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah, big brother Shaheed.
Ryan Salam, how are you, man?
I'm
Just
good.
super excited about this academy today. Everybody, should be coming through it shortly.
Oh yeah, no, I got Naya here and we got Kempire here. They front and center.
That's good stuff right there. Good morning to you both. Nisi, good morning. Miss Kempire, good morning.
And you got Mrs. Haygood here.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Haygood. Really loved your story. Really loved your story last week, Miss Haygood. I'm telling you, I was like, wow. Looking forward to telling her that day. I love just your testimony and your endeavors with the real estate and everything. I was just blown away with it. Super great story.
God be the glory.
Mr. Arzuz here. We're pressing play now. Again, anybody can stop at any time. We'll talk through whatever's going on, but we'll stop at 3 o'clock, and then hopefully we get at least this. If y'all look, we only got really 1 hour of video done in 3 hours last week, but like Shaheed just said, a lot of powerful content. So this isn't about me being smart at all. I'm learning this too. I just wanted to create the platform so we can go meet the people we're going to help themselves.
Really well in his campaign. Love him or hate him, right? Whether you agree with him or not, he did a really amazing job at creating this us versus them mentality. And that's why people were so connected to him. Well, I'm creating an us versus them. Look, for the rest of us who are introverts, who don't want to talk to people in public, who are trying to build a business with strategies that go against the grain of how we're naturally wired, this is miserable and frustrating for us, right? And they're going, wow, this guy gets me. So I go on and I say, for a long time, there weren't really many alternatives. That was before the internet. The internet has changed all that. Now, you promise. You can have leads chasing you. You can thrive without prospecting, without chasing people, and without feeling like a pushy salesperson. I know because I've done it myself. You see, once I started working on my business instead of in my business, I was able to build simple online processes and systems that attracted leads to me on autopilot. More importantly, I was able to pre-qualify prospects before I connected with them one-on-one, which meant I was no longer wasting my time with deadbeat leads who were never going to buy. So I'm talking about one of their frustrations. I'll admit the road to get there wasn't always clear and easy, which is why I'd like to show you the shortcut. I struggled in network marketing for 18 years. If you want to know the simple change I made, click the link below to watch a short video. Now, that may seem to you like, holy crap, Tyson, that was a lot of text to get somebody to just click a link and watch a video. Is all of that really necessary? You might even be asking yourself, who's going to read that? You know who's going to read it? My perfect prospect. I'm not looking for the person who reads this story and goes, I'm kind of bored by that. If they're bored by the story, it means that they're not a good fit to be in my funnel anyway. And I'm not looking for quantity, right? I'm not looking for how many leads can I get into my funnel. I'm looking to get a fast no. How many people can I get to say, no, this is not for me, so that I'm only dealing with the most qualified, best prospects I could possibly have. Does this make sense? Does everybody follow? I'm going to show you one more story ad, but I just talked a lot, right? Okay, Melissa just said, I read this whole story and that's why I'm here. So that's a great example that this worked. Melissa read my story. She was the exact type of prospect. I'm not trying to reach everybody. I'm trying to really reach the Melissas, right? I'm trying to really reach the Cynthias, the people who resonate with this message, because if they resonate with my message, I know that they're going to be a good fit for everything else I have to show them later on in the funnel. Okay, so let me take a drink. Tell me real quick if you've got any questions about this particular ad, if you need me to clear anything up for you, and then we're going to look at one more ad. This is the one I'm running today, like right now. This is the one that's been running since April 1st or 2nd. And then I'm going to show you the one that I ran almost all of March that did really well for me as well. Oh, that water is good, good, good. I am not seeing any questions here. I just see people saying that ad sucked me in. I agree. You should start another business writing ads. No, thank you. I do not want to write ads for other people. I enjoy writing my own stories, my own ads, and I enjoy teaching. So I'll stick to that. All right, let's go back now and let's look at the month of March. This was a different ad. Now, some of you might be here right now because of the ad I ran in March. It says February 2017 because I think I started this campaign at the end of February. But so let's take a look at last month, all of March, March 1st through the 31st. And you can see that overall, my average cost was about $5.47 for a lead on average, okay, over the course of the month. Sometimes some groups were more expensive than others. Like some of them I shut off, like this one down here cost me $31 a lead. I was like, no, that's no good. I'm going to get rid of them. And that's the kind of stuff I'm going to be showing you how to structure your campaign so you can see, you know, I believe I heard this concept from Perry Belcher, maybe, that when you run ads, what you do is you want to split up your, you want to structure your campaign in such a way that you can see all of your horses. And what you do is you determine which ones are the stallions and which ones are the ponies. And you starve the ponies and you feed the stallions. So that's why you can see down here, these were the ponies. This one was $31 a registrant. So I turned that sucker off. No way. I don't want to run that ad. So I'm starving that baby. But this one up here, I'm spending $240 a day because I was getting $4 leads. So I'm feeding that stallion. We're going to talk more about that on the April 20th webinar. But let's take a look at these ads. And the other thing I'll show you on the April 20th webinar is how I pick, images a little more specifically. In this one, you can see I tested 4 images. They all have the same copy. This image here was the one that ultimately did the best, okay? And what's interesting is this image really doesn't even have anything to do with my copy, other than maybe the fact that it's a whole bunch of other entrepreneurs that I spoke at.
Ms. Haygood, I want to just make one note that all of the words he writing, that's what he mean by copy. So it's the picture, then the words are the copy.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
An event with, and after that event, we all went out in the desert and rode dune buggies together. So, but I don't even address that in the ad. But I think that maybe the reason why this image worked is because it's a native image. It just looks like a regular old picture. It doesn't look like stock photography. It doesn't look like an ad. And it doesn't have any text on the image, which, by the way, Facebook likes that. They don't like as much when you have text on your advertising, okay? So now the last ad I just showed you was the underdog story, right? My upline scolded me, and then this happened. So a lot of people were sucked in by the underdog story. Well, this ad here was really this. I'll let you figure out, what story do you think I'm telling right here? Let's look at the very first 6 lines. If you've ever struggled to generate leads for your home business, this story ought to make your blood boil. And if it prevents even one person from being duped by a so-called lead generation company, then my story is not completely in vain. You see, in the early days of my direct selling and network marketing pursuits, I was constantly looking for people to talk to about my business, ... All right, we suck them in. They have to click see more. So we're going to get lots of people. Look at this. This is an ad, and it had 752 likes, 82 comments, 81 shares. I mean, who the hell shares an ad? Lots of people do when they like it, and they know other people are going to like that story as well. So let's see if this one will pull up in my newsfeed. It may not. My newsfeed is acting weird today. There we go. All right. So here's what this ad looks like in an actual newsfeed. And let's take a look at this. All right. So Laura's here right now because of this ad. This ad caught her eye. The one that got me hooked on buying was how it's not a good lead. Well, that's this ad. I'm going to read this one to you right now, guys. And thank you for bearing with me as I read you this long story. I know that may seem a little boring, but I think it's important to break down the psychology because you're going to want to go back and review this as you write your own ads, okay? So, all right, let me address something real quick. Rajiv is asking, he's saying, I'd like to see an overview of your sales funnel. That is, I will show that. We will do in-depth reviews inside of the Inner Circle for all of the members in future webinars, but that is outside of the scope of what tonight's class is just about getting somebody's attention. You can't get them in your funnel until you have their attention, right? So that we really need to focus on one thing at a time, right? You spread yourself in too many directions and focus on too many things, and you get you get diluted in your thoughts. So let me see if I can make this a little bigger. All right, that's pretty good. All right, so they get sucked in here. You see, in the early days of my direct selling, I was constantly looking for people to talk to about my business. So I'm talking a little bit about my frustrations, but the problem was I had no clue how to generate my own leads. To make matters worse, I was super awkward when I tried to prospect strangers out in public. So basically, once I had exhausted my list of family and friends, as I was instructed by my sponsor, which, by the way, I couldn't even seem to get any results from anyway, I was now up the creek with no one else to talk to. So I'm remember, we're looking for nod the head factor. I'm looking for people to be nodding their head in agreement, going, oh yeah, that's me. I've tried my friends and family. That didn't work. And now I've run out of people to talk to. So they keep reading. And I say, I searched for ways to generate home business leads. And let me tell you, I found all kinds of shysters who claimed to have the solution for my lead deprivation problem. I bought systems that claimed I could generate leads at the push of a button. I purchased leads from vendors who said they had the most qualified home business leads in the industry. And yet, when I got on the phone to talk to these so-called qualified leads, my conversation told a very different story. Now, let me pause here for just a minute, and I want to tell you a couple really good tricks about writing compelling ads, writing compelling copy. Here's what a lot of people think. A lot of people think, man, you have to be a good writer. No, you do not. In fact, you do not want to try and write the way that English teachers teach you to write. Notice a couple of little things here. Notice things like I have short little 2-line sentences, and then there's a break, and another 2-line sentence, and then down here I just have a 1-line sentence. If I had, first of all, if I had all of this in one big, huge block, like all English teachers like, oh, you should have 5 sentences in a paragraph. No freaking way. People will look at that big block and they'll be like, I ain't reading that. But this looks more, it doesn't look so daunting to read it. So that's a little psychological trick when you're writing. But here's the other thing. You want to write the way you talk, not the way English teachers taught you. Okay, I'm not writing, have you ever struggled to get leads for your home business? Well, if so, my story, that is not, so whenever, the reason I'm reading this to you is because I literally write my ads after I have spoken them into a tape recorder. Okay, I speak them out loud and I transcribe the words that I have said because I don't want it to sound like a written essay that is stiff. I want it to sound like the way I would talk. So when I'm reading this, I'm putting inflections that they may or they may not hear. But like when I recorded this, if I went back, I would hear myself say, I purchased leads from vendors who said they had the most qualified home business leads in the industry. And yet, when I got on the phone to talk to these so-called qualified leads, my conversation told a different story. So notice the pauses I had, I put that in with a ... right? I put, qualified leads in quotation marks. Just, I'm trying to do little bitty things to try and show the inflection that I have, because I want them reading this as close to the way that I would have actually told the story in person, not like they're reading an essay. That's very, very important. And it's important that you do not want big, like this is probably a little too long. That's like 4 lines of text is the longest I would want to go. And notice I immediately break it up with 1 sentence. Want to know what she told me? Move on, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and read. This is why I'm going to keep reading this to you so you can hear my inflection. So for example, one lady I spoke with told me she wasn't interested in a home business. So I straight up asked her, why would this lead generation company have given me her name as somebody who's interested in a home business if you're not? You want to know what she told me? She said, oh, well, they said I would be entered for a chance to win a free trip to Hawaii if I entered my information into their website form. Are you kidding me? Question mark, question, right? Why do I have 4 question marks there? It's because I want that. When I spoke that into my tape recorder, I was angry. I want them to feel that anger. Are you kidding me? Qualified lead my ass, I thought. And that's not the only tactic these lead gen companies use. In fact, offering incentives like this is actually one of their milder tactics. So it didn't take long for me to realize 2 important things. Okay, so let's pause here for just a minute. Let's go back. I'm going to pick up right there here in just a second. But what is, hold on, where are we at? What is this ad? This ad is the horrible or embarrassing thing that happened story. I guess it could also be the frustration story. I assume you guys can still see my screen. It's kind of a combination of these 2, number 2 and number 5. It's my frustration of not having people to talk to. So I tried this solution. I tried lead vendors. I tried, buying leads. I tried systems that said they would get leads for me, and none of that crap worked. In fact, here was this horrible thing that happened to me. I wasted a crap ton of money on leads, and I got people who still weren't interested and weren't a good fit. So this is that type of ad, and it is hitting on so many different levels of emotion, right? There's anger, there is this need for significance, right? I wanted to do well in my business. And so right here, I come to my conclusion, but notice I'm telling it in my voice. I realized that only suckers buy leads. Now, if I said to them, only suckers buy leads, and they go, hold on, I've bought leads. Why is he calling me a sucker? I would have now offended them, but I just called myself a sucker. So now they can see themselves in that story. Only suckers buy leads, and I had been duped. The only truly qualified lead is a lead that I generate myself. Otherwise, I have no way of knowing what process those people have been through that actually qualifies them to see what I'm offering. Oh, it was a hard lesson to learn. But after I finally accepted these facts and I started learning how to generate my own leads, everything changed. In fact, less than 12 months later, so now I go into the promised land, right? After I finally changed this one thing, I learned how to get my own leads. This is what happened. I had enrolled 1,000 people, multiple 6-figure income stream, #1 income earner, and I did it all online without doing all the sucky stuff you don't want to do, right? That's what the message is here. And it's exactly what I'm teaching you how to do in a special free web class. You can reserve your seat right here. Now, here, what am I doing right here? I'm addressing skepticism. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, but can this work for my business? The answer is yes. Well, as long as you have a product or a service or an opportunity that can genuinely help someone solve a problem or reach a goal in their life, then the answer is a resounding yes. And I'd love to show you how. Now, just to be crystal clear, this training isn't just going to be a bunch of fluff or vaguely shrouded theory. So I know these people have attended webinars before where they're like, I am so sick of these trainings where they just tease you. They don't give you any real world actionable strategies. And it's just a tease to buy their product, right? So I'm addressing that objection up front. I know what you're thinking, but that's not what this is. You are going to get real world actionable strategies. So if you're sick of chasing people around, one-on-one presentations, deadbeat lead, family and friends, yada, 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 then my web class will be a fresh breath of fresh air. I'm going to show you the simple 3-step formula. So there's the promise. Simple 3-step formula that not only transform my business, but it will allow you to generate high quality leads online starting right away. There's no cost to register or attend. I'm only offering it for a limited time. Register now. I've got a clear call to action. Do this next. Okay. That's probably the other thing I should have said. Make sure your ad has a clear call to action. Tell them what to do and what they're going to do on the next page. Register on the next page, and we'll see you there. So I'm not going to go into any more stories or any more ad examples than that because it can get a little long-winded, but I wanted to make sure that I at least went over those two because those are the ones that ultimately I've spent over $35,000 on and have done really, really well for me. Okay. Yeah, I will. Yeah, Melissa, you're right. This picture, it is very random, but
Shahid,
All right, I'm listening.
we can almost take that John word for word when it's time to go into the market outside of the videos to get people to hear about us with the currency trade and stuff. Forex. That's
Right.
he about to get his stuff robbed and duplicated to the utmost.
I was always thinking the same thing. If it works, why not? Like I said, there's nothing wrong with copying off a cat long as it's the right cat. So I'm always saying the same thing to myself.
Yeah, it's look decent for the network home-based business lead. Anyway, that just popped out as he made it bigger, and we got to see the actual words.
That's hot. Yeah.
It just goes to show you that the idea of having something that doesn't look like an ad, I think that's one of the reasons this did so well. It doesn't look like an ad. People are just kind of like, well, what is that? And then I start reading, and maybe there's even a level of psychology where people are like, hold on, is he ever going to tell us who the hell all these people are? And maybe they just keep reading because they're curious how the image ties into it. I don't know. But for whatever reason, I tested this image. Let's look at the other images I tested. By the way, a close second to that image was this one, which really surprised me. Here it is. Exact same ad. Everything's the same. Have you ever struggled? This will make your blood boil. And then it was this picture of like a liar holding out a carrot and all these people falling off of a cliff. And then I did have some text here, which surprised me because Facebook usually doesn't like it when you have text on your pictures. But it said the ugly truth about buying leads. And that one did fairly well also. This one, for this particular one, got $4.71 leads, had an 8 relevant score, whereas this one here had slightly less, $4.31 with the dune buggies in the desert, also had an 8. And
Miss Haygood.
Yes.
For your stuff, all this back office scoring and all that stuff, that's going to be me and the staff member. So what you're looking to do is just get real clear on the psychology part and then how the ad should look. Because on top of if we do a written ad with just a picture, the staff member's going to help you with the writing and we'll all agree on it. And then we're really working to make the video one, which is why I got you here. But all of this back office stuff is my job, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that way when you watch it, you don't stop saying, what about all this yuck? So,
Okay.
yes, ma'am. I don't have that same agreement with anybody else, though.
Favor ain't fair.
And then I tried these others. This one was more like I just wanted to grab their attention. So I was kind of curious to see if this one would even get this one here. I didn't even know if this one would get approved because you're not supposed to do anything political, in your ads on Facebook. And this was slightly political because of, Kellyanne Conway and the whole like alternative facts thing. So I was kind of playing on pop culture there a little bit and just trying to grab people's attention, but it did okay. It didn't do nearly as well as the other ads. And then this last one here did not do well at all. This is why you really want to test several different images, because you just don't know what's going to work. This one bombed. It did not do well at all. I had this guy, myth or fact, looking which way to go. The ugly truth about buying leads didn't do well at all. So you just don't know what's going to work. Okay. And this is the kind of stuff I'm going to show you an inside look in the inner circle for everybody who decides to become and stay a member. This is the kind of insider stuff I'm going to show you that nobody else gets to see in my business. All right. Do I use video in my ads? Rajiv asks. Yes. Yes, the other campaign I was running, but it wasn't really a story ad. And this is something I'm going to test. Let me show you. Here's what's interesting. The other ad that I ran, where is that? And then I need to finish up this webinar. We have been going, my goodness, we've been going an hour and a half almost at this point, and I'm going to try and wrap this up in the next 20 minutes. Thank you to everyone. Has this been valuable, guys? Have you gotten? Has it been worth your time here? Do you feel like, whether you decide to become and stay a member of the inner circle or not, do you feel like this training has given you some useful things? Yeah, I'll tell you what, Keith, I will try to give you guys. How about I do this? I will give you guys a link to download the slides. I'll try and send that out to everybody who registered for this webinar and attended. Can send you out a link so that you can just download all of my slides. Is that useful, helpful? Okay, and then you can kind of flip through the slides as a review. I mean, guys, I really want to give back to you for being my customers. That's really what tonight's all about, whether you become Inner Circle members or not. So somebody asked about the video ad. Let me show you the video ad because I ran this in a totally separate ad account. All right, and this is. I'm getting into a little bit of my secret that I'm going to be sharing with you on April the 20th. But I had a totally separate advertising account, and I have what's called the 3 mistakes video ad. And by the way, this one you can find right on my page. So if you want, I'm not going to go through this ad. You can go right over to facebook.com/Tyson's Honor page. Here's the link right here. I'll even paste it right here. That's my page. I just pasted it in the chat box. Everybody should see it. If you go over to that business, this is my business page. I run all of my ads from my business page, not from my personal fan page. And you should as well.
Business
and
page,
you should really have a business manager account. We'll talk more about that on April the 20th. But this is the video ad that I ran. I'm going to test something slightly different. And those of you who are Inner Circle members will get to see the results of it. Here's the deal. I got leads at really great prices. Okay. My cost for my leads was really good and they converted really well. The problem was I had a really low relevance score. And so what I'm going to test is combining video here with story here to get more people clicking see more. Because I think what was happening is maybe people were like not watching the video, maybe just kind of scrolling past. And if I could have drawn them in with my copy a little bit more and got more people to click see more, I think it would have raised my relevance. But here was the results from that. That's the campaign I spent over $12,000 on that one. And you can see here that like in this, now this one, I only tested the one ad. I just had the one video and that had a relevance score of 5. Now, some of them did way better than others. Like that one had a 5, but I had some of them that were really bad, like 2s and 3s. And I was like, hey, Keith, that's a great question, by the way. What if you don't have a big advertising budget? Good question. So I do want to address that because I don't want anybody to think, number one, that, oh my God, Tyson spent $35,000. Who the hell has that kind of money? I don't have that kind of money. Well, first of all, I'm going to show you, especially on the April 20th webinar, I'm going to show you how to start small, how to test with, $20 a day for a couple of days. Okay. And then what you do is you analyze your results. And if you got great results with maybe $20 to $40, then you go back and you scale up, because successful entrepreneurs, what we do is we take calculated risks and we do it very safely. And I'm going to show you how to do that with advertising. This is not gambling, right? What we're doing is we're testing, we're getting data, we're analyzing that data, and then we're going and saying, okay, how do I tweak to make this better? Or if it worked, how do I scale and get more of what I just got, right? And that's what I'm going to be showing you. So the good news is you can do this for as little as $10 to $20 a day. Okay, to get on the April 20th webinar, I will be sending a link to everybody who becomes an Inner Circle member. Actually, I'll probably be posting it inside of the Facebook support group. So make sure that you request access to the Facebook support group when you become an Inner Circle member. And I'll post it there. I'll also send out an email to everybody who is an Inner Circle member. So Keith, you're saying I can't afford $20 a day. Let me clarify a couple of things for you. Number one, I'm not saying $20 a day for 30 days, right? Because a lot of you are saying $20 times 30 days, and you're saying, oh, I have to have a $600 advertising budget. No, not at all. What I'm saying is you take $20.
For everybody on this call, right? Not Cisco and Michelle, hold on for a second. For everybody here, Shahid and I are in our agreement making for the advertising budget part, right? So this part of what the budget actually is going to be Shahid and I putting it together for every person here that does the other work, right? So from a network marketing perspective, and I want to get y'all guys' feedback since I got y'all here, guys and gals. I'm sorry about that, Nia, and Kim and Kempire. There's two phases of this from y'all perspective. One, Shahid and I, we do the actual advertising ourselves, and then when the people come in, they end up in one of your groups, and you working in as learning how to be an effective what's called a bridge, right? So when Cornell first got signed up, he knew Mike, right? He knew Shahid, but I really was his bridge when it came to asking questions about the trading. So he said, so when somebody gets started new, they should have an idea of who should I call if I have a question. And then as they feel comfortable with that person getting their questions answered, then they get more engaged in our process. Then they start learning, right? When Kev Crump got started, he knew Shahid. They're friends since childhood. I was the bridge though. So me and Shahid and I, we had a clear understanding of what was happening. He would talk to people as they would get their questions answered. If they had interest, I was set to be their bridge, right? So now, but for this next phase, y'all, the people that's here in Shahid's group, to really benefit from what's happening, stage one is your job is to be the bridge, right? So as the leads come in and as you're engaging in your qualified bridge, Shahid's going to have a lead coming in. He's going to be looking, saying this one goes here, this one goes here, and then giving them out as whatever he's told y'all. That's step one. And then Shahid and I are doing the budget stuff, right? So you have no out-of-pocket costs in this process, more to your Epic membership. It's about you being qualified and caring enough about somebody else that's coming in new that when they get here, Shahid don't have to also stop and be the bridge for the next 20 people or whatever coming in, that this group of leaders can take that responsibility and then just love on the person that's new. That's it. Plug them into the Saturday call for the trading side, plug them into the stuff that Rambus is doing on the building side, and I know Shahid probably has some stuff in the mix there. The higher vibration of this engagement, though, is you learn how to write the ad, right? You volunteer to have your story being told, and then Shahid and I still are going to be responsible for putting your budget together, right? So the way I got this structured is nobody that's given energy is set to put any capital into the process until they get to founder 1000. And then you can decide that you want to ramp it up faster, right? But if you are here down, you're already qualified for getting the leads from Shahid's work that we got to do, but you can go faster than that by doing this work and telling Shahid or me or both of us, and I'll make sure we turn your ad on too. Now, what I mean by that is Cisco's doing the work. That's part of his, like, so Cisco, Shahid, and Ms. Haygood, they're here to do the actual work. They're going to be step one, making the ad, right? And then my job is to make the budget work and then the back office stuff, right? And that's why I'm hiring a staff member. So I want y'all to get real clear that this is intentional for everybody here to make six figures or better from the B quadrant side, because we're going to be meeting people in the marketplace that want to hear our story. So you can go at the regular pace. Shahida have an ad going, ad comes in, he's divvying them out. Or you can do the work, raise your hand, and then you'll have an ad as well. And then 100% of the leads that come from your ad is for your organization. That's the agreement here that I'm having with this marketing side. If you do the work, we're putting the money up, and then you get the results. So real fast, can each person give me what how this sounds to you, and then we'll jump right back in. Shy, go first though, so that way we can get you and Cisco out the way.
Okay, yeah. And what I wanted to say, and along with that, Mr. Allen, I'm gonna be working with my core 6 on how to do the PS3, as well as the game plan interview and all that stuff. So
Awesome.
everybody gets super qualified. So starting this Monday, I'll be having my first session on that, the whole PS3 concept. I'm gonna be role playing with all my 6 core people.
Perfect.
On how to do the 3 ways, how to how to just close, be quiet once you edify the expert, what you say in the game plan interview when a person do come to the point where they go through the PS3 system and then they say, hey, listen, I'm interested, I'm flat out interested. Then after that, of course, that's when we immediately of set the game plan interview up with the person to see exactly where they want to go in a certain amount of time and a certain amount of window period. I'll be doing that every Monday with my group, and I'm also, jumping to actually doing a private business reception like Mr. Allen's doing for my group as well, so we can go ahead and ramp it up from that aspect. And then if they are interested in what you said and doing their own ad, then that's another discussion in and of itself. But yeah, we definitely ready to get this thing going.
Yeah, what I felt, Shahid, is that we're the truth, in my opinion, from the Rambus side, making sure people clearly understand that the value proposition of Epic, what we do with the trading, all the way into CJ trading, so they can see somebody that they can't have any excuses if they watch them trade. So I think we got a full gambit of value. We just now got to go meet the person that wants to know that we have the value. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm looking
Thank
forward to it. Cisco, jump in real quick.
It's a no-brainer, man. Let's just go.
Awesome. Now, everybody else, please, I want to just hear something from you, so that way we could feed off each other and then get right to it.
Hey, Mr. Allen, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, this is exciting. This is definitely new to me, but I'm excited about the learning curve, and just excited, man. I haven't been this excited since I went to college, freshman year, man. This is definitely something new, and I'm ready to tackle it. Man. That's it.
You know the exciting part, Mike, when your name comes up and stuff, is that you are a bona fide leader, and I know you care about people. So just on the part of Shahid getting the leads done, and then you being the bridge, I know that's going to be a magic scenario. And then if you do this part here, and like you said, take this new challenge, you get to write your ticket, because what we've done up thus far is we made enough money that we can turn the marketing on, right? So now, so Nona has been working on this from a brainchild perspective, and I don't know how good you know Nona yet, but she's a genius. And so when we got to Mike, when I tapped Cisco on the shoulder, tapped Miss Sherry, I kind of dragged Miss Sherry a little bit, but she trusts me, so I'm a good bridge, right? Is Nona put up $100, right? What we did, whatever that go, and she had 1,500 people look at the ad. We saw the numbers. She had 6 people, right? She had 6 people raise their hand that they wanted to talk, which made them leads, right? So it was 1,500 impressions, 6 leads. She actually had 3 people sign up, but I don't count one of them because the person that signed up, mother knew Nona. So I'm taking that one out of the mix, although the person signed up for a year, right? The year up front. So I'm not even counting that one, Mike. So there was 2 more people that signed up out of that 6. So that's so now if you ever hear me say 2, but her say 3, that's the difference, right? Because I work on conservative numbers that I can duplicate, right? So somebody that knows Miss Haygood's daughter may not sign up, right? So I wanted to find purely open market, right? So one person named was Sade. Sade signed up for the year, right? And you'll get a chance to hear her story as we go. Then the other brother was from Ghana, and he flew to the US to make his life better so he can help his whole family. And then he's currently working security. And I know this because I did the 3-way, what Mr. Salam's talking about, that second base stuff. So after she got the lead in, she still took him through the PS3, right? So I'm doing a 3-way Zoom. And so Matala is his name. And he's in the United States working at security, but he left Ghana to be able to save up enough money to start a business to be able to get his family back over here and have the business go both from both coast to coast, right? Both sides of the pond. So both of those people, as I met them, talked to them the whole thing. And Sade, I didn't even do the 3-way. I did a welcome Zoom with her and got to hear her story after she'd already signed up and paid for the year, right? Through Bitcoin, right? So that whole thing. And so when the math get done, Kev, I know I'm talking to you, Mike, but Kev Crump is the numbers guy with me. When the math get done, Kev, we paid $50 for those 2 signups. It was $100 into the marketing, and then it was 2 people actually signed up with phenomenal life stories. So I said, well, if we get $50 a lead, I know Tyson just said 31 was no good, but if we getting $50 per sign up, and it takes 12 signups to get $600 a month, that should be able to be $600 to start helping somebody make $600 a month. And nice. that's what turned my thinking on let's get it going through all the organization. And the thing that I got told Shahid, the only thing missing is people to be the actual bridge. So when somebody come in, they got somebody they can, like who you and I have been for each other, Kev, as you got started.
Yeah, definitely. No doubt. Well, I'll just say that, I'm excited, following the leaders and I'm a busy person, so this is structure for me. So I'm looking forward to following the structure, the formula, so I appreciate it, what you guys are doing.
My man, 50 grand.
And if I can interject,
yep.
This is bottom line, this is just excellent. First of all, I want to give kudos to you as a leader, as well as Shahid and the leadership, Rambus. You just got to give credit to where it's due, because y'all are leading from the front, from the standpoint of not only seeing this as a tool to help the organization overall, but you also are putting your money where your mouth is. And when you make the investment that is impacting others, that's leadership. So first of all, I want to say I'm so grateful and thankful. And then not only being a part of the organization, the family, and being one of them leaders on the bottom side that's pushing to the top. When I assess myself and what I bring to the table and can offer Epic, one of the challenges have been that my warm market, when I'm good at something or smart, your warm market can take to look at you and take it for granted. And if they don't see the immediate results, then they may not hear you as much. And then I don't want it to be a reflective as it relates to who I am and the leadership, because the business side hasn't been building up as much. But when you look at what I've been able to do in terms of inspire people to come into the Tron community, the things with you and CJ on Thursdays and some of the other things I'm working on with Shahid and Mike, people wouldn't see that, but I am one of those leaders. So this particular tool here only helps not only us, but I'm speaking even for myself, helps me to now begin to get over the top and take that next step, because it's important for people to actually see it. And leaders need tools. And I remember you saying 200%. 100% is you and 100% is the vehicle. So I've been in 100% and I feel like I'm in 100% now. So being able to attach to that other tool that allows you to get to that 200%, this is it. And I couldn't be more excited and more grateful to be a part of the opportunity. And once again, before even taking advantage of it, I thank you. And I'm one of those that want to also do the work. I want to be able to put my story out there as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Nasir, Naya, Kempire, jump in for me so we can get back to work.
Mommy. Hi. Mommy. I'm so sorry, that's my daughter. This is Naya. I want to say, while I run away from my daughter so I can be heard by everybody, that I believe in anything that my uncle does. Let me just say that first, because I can say that in the past 2 decades, I think, I've seen him be involved in multiple things. So when I found out he was involved in this, and I was looking for something like this to get involved in, I knew it was the right thing to do. And then even after he taught me the things that he taught me in the beginning, I still felt like it was the right thing to do. And even after I struggled learning how to trade and sometimes struggle getting people to understand what Epic was offering, I still believed in it. And when he called me the other day, I said to him, Uncle Shahid, I was just getting ready to ask you, what else is it that I could do far as marketing wise to get other people? Because unfortunately, the people, I don't have many like-minded people around me. So I think that is awesome. It's great because I'm willing to put in the work to see the results. And I'm thankful that you guys even thought of it and offered us the opportunity, because it was just what I was thinking like a few weeks ago.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. That's amazing. Nasir, what's on your mind, young champion?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. I had to walk away from the family too. It's Mother's Day and everything. I had to walk away for this one. I love it. I love what I hear. I'm on the trading aspect, so I definitely think it's beneficial on my uncle's side. And like my sister was saying, how you doing, sis?
Hey,
But like
twin.
my sister was, like she was saying, my uncle been doing it for a while, so I jumped up on board. He introduced me to Epic. Great results. I plan on, great results on that. But so far, I'm following this lead and it led me all the way to you. And I'm hearing this, and I'm thinking about the ads and how I can see myself, building up an ad on a trading aspect, if that makes sense.
1000%. That's the game.
Yeah.
So and also be able, being under his leadership and help with, like a chain of command. And I love it. I'm just gonna say it like that.
Awesome.
I love it.
I received that. And that's why I wanted to make the point right here, so there'd be no background brain for anybody. Oh, I'm sorry, Kim. Probably jump in, Kim. I'm sorry.
Go ahead and finish. You good?
No. I'm gonna keep my thought. Please.
Oh, I just am gonna say that this feels like, to me, we're taking the Epic Baseball Diamond on the road. And I'm willing to do the dance, and if anybody knows me, I am a very grateful person, other than the beautiful monster that has to come out sometime. But I'm eternally grateful, and I'm always a willing participant in learning and growing and sharing. And, when we start bringing the people in to love up on them, I'll love up on them. I got this.
Now, Kim, I'm gonna tell you something in front of everybody real fast. Shahid and I normally don't debate about things, normally really nothing. But most of our debates over the last 7 months has been him advocating for you and him being right. So it came clear when we did the GP group, and you and Mike have been helping him out for that side. But before that, he was saying, nah, I'm telling him it's Kempire. And I was like, but Shashi, I don't see what you see yet, right? And he was
Right.
like, nah, I'm telling you. And I was like, let's put the resources here, right? So just being transparent. And Shahid has been the advocate of who you're going to be in this industry since we met you, right? Because you come from a big group and there's a bunch of leaders between you and us. And I'm saying,
Right.
let the other leaders help, Shah. And then we go from there. He was like, nah, something else there. She's sharp, da 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 da. So I want to say thank you for being who you are and having Shahid shut me down a couple times because he saw what I wasn't paying attention to. So thank you for being you. Just so I can just, because the same way I for Shahid, the same way I say what I gotta say one way for everybody, I'm able to say this for everybody too. You have not even looking at the results of your B quadrant stuff or I quadrant stuff, but who you have been, and then wanting other people to win, even if they go first. And that's a different level of leadership. Not, and you haven't been saying, I don't want to win, everybody go. You've been saying, I'm gonna get my turn, and then meanwhile, I'm gonna celebrate everybody along the way, because this is what we do. And that's what Shahid was saying the whole time when I was looking at who was doing the result stuff, because I got a kind of bigger group to look at, if you will. So first, thank you for being you. And then Shahid, I wanted to be able to say this in our public forum, the way me and you do the other stuff.
And you just using the clip from Bad Boys. Remember when Martin was driving and he was handling the car the way that Will Smith wanted to handle the car. He said, "Now that's how you're supposed to drive." Now that's how we gonna get this. That's how we gonna get that thing done. And definitely kudos to you, Ms. Kimpai, for showing all that you've shown since we actually had the opportunity to call each other workout partners and wealth partners.
That look, you know, I had to put the WP on us because we had some long conversations about me being able to get right in Epic.
Right,
And I
right.
was
Yep.
willing, ready, and determined, and I'm grateful that our friendship has blossomed to the point where now it's blooming all over the place.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
So I'm ready to get back. I'm
it's
sorry.
grateful. All right, we're done.
Yes,
Thank
I'm ready to
you.
get back to work. I just wanted, so the way my brain works is if I'm looking at one piece of information and I see a roadblock while I'm watching it, the roadblock starts to speak to me and the questions come and I'm starting to try to answer the question while I'm still paying attention to the thing. So what I wanted to do right here is move anybody's roadblock. So that's why I said it, and Cornell spoke to it perfectly, but that's why from this part here, Shahid and I already got this part clear for how we're starting it. And then everything from it is set to be reinvested into it from my perspective. So everybody here, just being who you are, learn how to be a leader in the way this Epic thing works as a machine, right? The Freedom Family Movement. And Shahid already got the budget stuff straightened out. And I'm not going to talk to anybody about chipping in to their own wealth until they're at $1,000 a month. That's the kind of game plan. Ms. Hager, you already know me and you at 2,000. So, but just so I had to pause on that thought that might have jumped in your head, which I don't think you would have had because you'd have said, Dan, nope. Anyway, so this part here, we have the budget. All you have to do is be a leader so you can qualify to get the leads. So we know that we're not cheating a person that's on the back end. And then from there, when you get to founder 1,000, we'll have a talk. And if you still want to build it up through that process, I'm chipping in up until founder 5,000 for everybody here. And that's $5,000 a month. Then you could then take care of your own budget with your group. So that's kind of the contract that Shahid and I have. Okay. So can I go? I'm gonna just start. If anybody needs to stop me, stop me.
A day for maybe 3 to 4 days. We're getting data, we are analyzing that data, and then we're going and saying, okay, how do I tweak to make this better? Or if it worked, how do I scale and get more of what I just got, right? And that's what I'm going to be showing you. So the good news is you can do this for as little as $10 to $20 a day. Okay. To get on the April 20th webinar, I will be sending a link to everybody who becomes an Inner Circle member. Actually, I'll probably be posting it inside of the Facebook support group. So make sure that you request access to the Facebook support group when you become an Inner Circle member. and I'll post it there. I'll also send out an email to everybody who is an Inner Circle member. So Keith, you're saying I can't afford $20 a day. Let me clarify a couple of things for you. Number one,
Mike Edwards, I'm from North Philly. I pay me and Ramos pay for Inner Circle. Then we put it on Zoom. We all in the Inner Circle.
Yes, sir. I can relate.
What are you talking about? We pay one time and let everybody into the party.
I'm not saying $20 a day for 30 days, right? Because a lot of you are saying $20 times 30 days, and you're saying, oh, I have to have a $600 advertising budget. No, not at all. What I'm saying is you take $20 a day for maybe 3 to 4 days. You test, so you might risk $60 to $80 to test your ads. Now, you could do this with as little as 10. I mean, you could do $10 a day for 4 days. I'll have to grant you access to the Facebook group, Rajiv. You have to request access. I'll grant everybody access later. But we're obviously on a live webinar right now, so I'll have to do that later. So you might risk $40 to $80. But here's the thing: amateurs look at this like gambling, right? They say. Amateurs look at this and they say, okay, if you're getting an error with the Facebook page, I'll send everybody that joined a link later. Thanks for letting me know. I'll fix that later. But amateurs look at this and they say, oh, I don't want to risk money. I don't have $40 to spend. The goal of advertising is not to spend less. It's to spend more. Why? Because when I started, I didn't start with $35,000. Does everybody get that? I started by spending $20, testing, and turning $20 into $40. And once I was consistently getting $40 back for every 20, well, now I took 40 and I reinvested, and that 40 turned into 80. Now, did I have to spend $40 of my own money? No. I plugged in 20 of my own money that turned into 40, and then I reinvested the 40 to make 80. Then I reinvested the 80 to make 160, and I reinvested the 160 to make 380 or whatever. And I just kept doubling and doubling and doubling. Now, for those of you who are saying, I just cannot do paid advertising, fine. That's okay. You don't have to. If you need to do organic strategies for a while, if you need to go out and share on Facebook groups and hustle, that's fine. You're either going to get traffic with your money or you're going to get it with your time. Either one is fine, but you just have to recognize there's a trade-off. So you can go out and try and rank your content.
Shaheed, we putting up that bread.
I'm with you. I'm with you. No question about it. I'm with you. It's worth it.
It will take time for content to rank. It's not as scalable. You're going to hustle a little bit more to go share your stories in maybe Facebook groups and that sort of thing. Whereas with paid advertising, you're going to get faster feedback. So I'm not saying that everyone here should do paid advertising. That would be incredibly irresponsible of me to make a blanket statement like that without me knowing your financial situation. But I do believe the messaging strategies I'm giving you tonight will work for everyone. Okay, so let's land this bird. Let's land this plane tonight. Okay, so I told you what questions to ask yourself. Where did we leave off? All right. So I'll tell you what. Here's what we're gonna do. I promised you I was going to give you, I was going to tell you how I got my ad account shut down. So I'm going to breeze through this. I do want to talk a little, if you do run Facebook ads, I want to talk a smidge about compliance, but I'm going to go through this really quickly, and then we're going to answer questions and try to be off of here in the next 15 minutes. First of all, you can go get all of the Facebook advertising policies by going to this address, facebook.com/policies/ads. All right. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me pause this for just a second. I think I know why the Facebook group is not allowing you in. I think it's because it's set up as a secret group instead of a closed group. And I think if I change the, give me just a second here. I just thought about that and I want to do it. Yep, that's why. It's a secret group, and in order for people to find it, it has to be a closed group. So let me change, how do I do that? Bear with me just a second here. Talk amongst yourselves, please. Edit group settings. I bet that's it. Change privacy setting. Group. Confirm. Confirm. Okay. All right, guys. Now, everybody who signed up for the Inner Circle, you should have an email with a link to the support group, to the Facebook group. It is now a closed group, which means I have to grant your access to it. But you can now join it. Chris just asked to join, so it looks like it's working now. Thank you for letting me know that. Okay. All right. So I'll grant everybody's access later after the webinar is over. So bear with me on that. As far as compliance goes, you can go to this address. It's facebook.com/policies/ads. Here it is. Facebook.com policies on ads. Let me copy this address into the chat box here so everybody has it. This is something you should all bookmark, okay? You need to read the Facebook advertising policies, and you need to do it frequently, but I'm going to give you some of the biggest takeaways about compliance. Number one, you can't call out personal attributes. I said that earlier, right? Do you suffer from diabetes? Are you overweight? You cannot say that. Avoid using the word you in your ads. Next, I shouldn't say avoid using the word you. Be careful with how you use the word you. Don't make any claims that would be perceived as a guarantee of results or overly hypey. For example, the 5 words that got my ad account shut down were these. I said, "This will work for you." Basically, Facebook thought I was making a guarantee of someone's results. Let me show you that in context. What I did right here, I said, now I know what you're probably thinking. Let me scroll up on this. I know what you're probably thinking, but can this work for my business? What I wrote here instead was, the answer is yes. As long as you have a product or service, then the answer is a resounding yes. This will work for you. That's how I originally wrote the ad. And those simple 5 words got my entire account shut down because Facebook said, no. You cannot make a guarantee that this will work for someone. You don't know their business. And you know what? They're right. I can't say that this will work for you. I don't know if you're going to take action. So I have to be careful with that kind of language, and so do you, okay? Same thing here. If you said you can cure diabetes with these 5 foods, you're going to get in big trouble. Here's another one. Avoid making any kind of time frame promises, like guaranteeing somebody's going to get certain results in a certain amount of days. You can make your first $10,000 in less than 30 days. That will never fly on Facebook. Also, this is especially for those of you in health and wellness, you cannot do before and after photos. And Facebook is really awesome on this page that I sent you because they even show you examples. Like right down here, it shows, where's this at? Personal health. I think it's this one here. There we go. So on personal health, it shows, first of all, like this is what we would allow, but we won't allow this. So you can't have zoomed in on body parts. You can't show somebody showing off how much weight they've lost, because even the picture alone is almost like a guarantee. It's like a promise of how much weight someone is going to lose. There's somewhere in here that I can't recall exactly where it's at, but there's somewhere that also says before, let's see, where's that at? Before and after photos, basically this right here. They're showing, here's an X. You cannot show before and after, but you could show this, somebody drinking a green juice, somebody eating a salad, somebody doing healthy, active lifestyle kinds of things. Those are okay. These are not. So Facebook is so clear with you, which is great. Just take the time to look through it and see, what can I do? What can I not? Here's another one. This is big. Avoid using, I call them spam trigger words. Facebook is going to look at certain things. A real person doesn't always analyze your advertisements, okay? What happens is an algorithm, a computer basically analyzes it, and they look for certain things. And sometimes they look for certain words or phrases or keywords. And that's exactly what happened with me when I said, this will work for you. They found that 5-word phrase and said, no way. Well, some spam trigger words that their algorithm will look for are going to be things like this: shocking tips, right? So if you said shocking tips that will help you curb your sugar cravings, no way, you can't do that. That's sensationalist kind of stuff. 5 weird tricks that will help you to lose belly fat. Don't do it. You won't believe this new secret that doctors discovered that cures diabetes or whatever, right? Crazy secret reveals how to X, Y, and Z. Those kind of sensationalist trigger words will be out of compliance and they'll get you in trouble. And then finally, any kind of shocking or sensational content, things like car crashes, something scary. You can't have weapons or guns, anything that's gory. You can't have profanity, that kind of thing. Anything that you're trying to use shock factor to grab somebody's attention, they don't like that. And finally, now this is going to freak a lot of you out. This last one, get rich quick, affiliate offers, MLM. You're like, oh, well, I guess I can't do, if I'm an affiliate company, I can't do Facebook ads. No. If you're thinking that, you haven't heard a thing I've said to you all night, right? Good marketing is not about promoting your thing directly. It's not about saying, hey, check out how many levels our MLM pays. Check out how long our MLM's been in business. Check out my awesome affiliate product. That's not what good marketing is. Good marketing is leading with information that would attract the kind of person who would be interested. So while you cannot say, do you want to know how to get rich in the next 30 days? Or while you can't say, come check out my awesome MLM company, what you could say is 5, let me think of how to word this. You could do something like, all right, I just got 2 ideas off the top of my head. You could do something like 3 things that billionaires like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates know about wealth that the rest of the world, 99% of the rest of the world does not. And then you could simply teach some things like Warren Buffett understands the importance of owning your own business. And then you can bridge that over into, here's why you should start your own business, right? So you're leading with value and information, and then you're building a bridge over to your business opportunity. Does that make sense? So that was one example. What was my other example? Oh God, now I think I forgot it. The other example would be, so you could do something like, 3 great ideas for making extra money from home, right? Or maybe not saying extra money. I would probably avoid using the word extra money or making money. But what you might say is 3 simple ways to start a business from home that you might not have thought of. Okay, those are not great headlines. I'm kind of coming up with them off the top of my head. But what I'm wanting you to understand is, you don't have to talk about your thing directly in order to promote your thing eventually. All you're looking to do is to grab somebody's attention who would be interested, who would click on an ad that says, what Warren Buffett and Bill Gates know about, building wealth that 99% of the rest of the world does not. Well, it would be somebody who wants to be wealthy but doesn't know how to do it, right? That's the kind of person you want to talk to about your business. Is that helpful? All right, let's wrap this sucker up. We're landing the bird. Here we go. We're landing the plane. This is what I saw when I logged into my ad account after I put "this will work for you." It said, please review. One of your ad accounts has been flagged for policy violations. Any ads you're running have now been turned off. We've disabled your ad account, and we've eliminated your ability to create new ad accounts. If you think this is a mistake, please contact us. Well, luckily, the contact Facebook part they made really easy. They put a little link right here. All I had to do was click it. It brought up a form, and here is exactly what I said to them, okay? I said, hey, I was running an ad on Facebook for several days that had been approved. It was running fine. It went to a landing page for a webinar registration. I've run Facebook ads to that same lead gen patient several times in the past without any problems. I'm not sure why the account was flagged and deactivated. Please help me to understand why this might have happened. Thank you for your help, okay? And then a couple days later, I think it was 3 or 4 days later, I got this email. Hi, Tyson, thanks for reaching out. We've reactivated your advertising account. You should now be able to create new ads and manage your existing ones. If you have campaigns that are currently stopped, the ads within that campaign cannot be restarted until the campaign is active again. We're sorry for the inconvenience this may have caused. I even got an apology from them, right? So here's my tip to you. If you ever do get your ad account shut down, number one, stick to the facts, okay? Don't go overboard. Don't write an essay to them. Keep it brief. Stick to the facts. Be nice, okay? The people who are dealing with this are not, all they are is a Facebook employee who simply has to determine, did the algorithm get this right or get it wrong? Most of the time, a real person didn't shut down your ad account in the first place. It was just the algorithm that did. So be nice to the real person, okay? Ask for an explanation of why. Hey, I'm not really sure why this happened. Indicate that you are willing to do whatever it takes to be compliant and play by their rules. Hey, listen, could you tell me why this happened? I'm happy to change whatever I need to do, to advertise on your platform. I just need to make sure I understand what I did wrong, okay? Provide examples if it's necessary or if it's possible in your situation of any similar ads that you've run that have been approved in the past. That could help. And if this is available, you can try to chat live. I have sometimes been able to visit, but when I go to this page, it's facebook.com and business resources. Here it is, facebook.com/business/resources. This page in the past, Facebook is weird. I have been to this page sometimes where right down here where it says support, there's a button for live chat, and I've used it. I've chatted with them live, and I've actually had a live chat interaction. But then I've had other instances like today where I visit this page and it's not there. So keep this page as a reference. I'll post it in the box here. Here's another page for you to bookmark for your references. You should see that in the chat box. And visit this from time to time. This gives you another way to contact them. If they don't have the live chat support available, like they don't right now, you can always just email them directly. But those are just those are a few examples of what to do if your ad account gets shut down. And finally, I know we've gone on long. I'm gonna wrap this up with this, and then on April 20th, I will go over exactly how to set all of this stuff up so that if you do get your ad account shut down, you can be back up and going in less than 30 minutes. Luckily, I had done these things. What I did, and very few people even know that you can do this, you can set up multiple ad accounts as long as you have everything within what's called the business manager, okay? So if you don't have a business manager, we'll talk about that next time on April the 20th. And if you're first starting, they may only let you have two ad accounts. And eventually they'll allow you to have more as you start showing a good reputation as an advertiser. But you can put more ad accounts up. And here's the secret, okay? There's two secrets actually. Number one, don't use the same payment source for both. So you can see here, when I go over to my business manager page, look at all of these advertising accounts I have set up. So I've got my Z Media account, which is my main one. That's the one that got shut down. Well, luckily I had a backup called Zon Marketing. And here's the deal. My understanding of the way it works is this. If they shut down this ad account and you had credit card ending in 5555, they look for any other ad accounts that also had that as a funding source. And it's like they put a scarlet letter on that credit card and they say, we're going to also shut down all of the others. So you want to make sure that you either don't connect a funding source to this ad account until you're ready to use it. And I'll show you how to do that next time. Or you make sure you have a different credit card or a different, like a bank account on one and a credit card on the other. What I do, just here's an outside tip, because I told you this is going to be inner circle type of stuff. What I do is I have a Southwest Visa card because I like to fly Southwest. And I mean, like last month, I got 35,000 points on my Southwest Visa card because I get a point. So I basically fly for free. And Visa Chase, who administers that card, when I have a business card through them, I call them and I say, hey, can I get another card in my wife's name? And it's got a totally different number. So this account has my credit card on it. This one has my wife's credit card. They both go to the same Southwest account. So I'm accumulating points in both of them for the same Southwest account. But because it's different credit cards, if Facebook shuts down this one, I now have a backup account that I can go to that has a different funding source. And here's the final secret that so many people don't know you can do. You can share data between accounts. So next time we'll try to talk about what audiences are, things like custom audiences, pixels. If you're like totally confused, like what the hell's a pixel? What the hell's an audience? If you don't know what that means, don't worry. I'll teach you about that on April the 20th, assuming that you decide to become a Inner Circle member. But for those of you that do know what that means, I didn't realize this until I had my ad account shut down, and somebody else who's much smarter than me with Facebook ads told me, hey, did you know that you can share your audiences, all of these audiences you've built of people who visited your website? You can just share that with another ad account. I was like, holy crap, are you kidding me? I didn't know that. So literally I was back up and going within 30 minutes. Okay, is that some valuable stuff or what? All right, so here's what you guys have to look forward to on April the 20th if you decide to become an Inner Circle member. Next time is going to be all about implementing this stuff, actually building the campaign. I'm going to show you how to set up these multiple ad accounts, where to click to share data between them. We'll talk about pixels and audiences if that's something you want to know about. I'm going to show you how to structure your campaign, the easiest way to create your ads without having to buy third-party tools. You know, it's totally, you can use free tools given to you by Facebook. I'm going to show you a couple of extra secret simple tricks that I didn't even share with you tonight that'll help you to increase your relevance score and ultimately bring your ad costs down. I'll show you how I structure all of my campaigns for testing and how to do it, $10, $20 a day in your testing phase, so you're not risking a lot of money up front. I'm going to show you how to analyze your campaign results and what I tweak if something's not producing the results I want, what I tweak first, what I change, and then ultimately I'm going to show you what I do to scale a campaign once I find a winner. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about on the next one. I'm also going to tell you the biggest mistakes I see people making with paid advertising, including myself. I know these mistakes because I'm guilty of them. And of course, if there's time, I will also try to do members only reviews and coaching. So if you have written a story between now and April the 20th and you'd like me to review it, please contact me within the Facebook group. Submit it. I'll give you instructions on how to submit it to me, probably via private messenger. And I will, if there's time, I will try to do reviews on the very next Inner Circle call, because that's really what the third Thursday of the month is supposed to be. The third Thursday of the month is really supposed to be, it's supposed to be our time to for you to get coaching. It's not really supposed to be training, but this month is going to be a little different. So if you have a question and you want to stick around, I'll stick around another 10 minutes to 15 minutes to answer any questions that you have. And then we'll do the follow-up for all of this on the April 20th follow-up webinar, where we show you how to implement all of this stuff. So Melissa is saying, how can you figure out the conversion rate from a lead to a sale? That's a good question. So it's a lot of that is going to depend on how you're doing your conversions. Okay, Melissa, if you're talking to your leads, like let's say that your whole advertising process is simply to get somebody to reach out to you and send you a private message, then what you do is you count, like let's bring up a calculator here. All you would do is you would simply say, okay, I have had 20 people comment more info on my ads. For each one of those people, I replied back and I said, hey, I just sent you a private message. Let me know if you'd like to hop on a phone call or a video chat or whatever. So out of 20 people, let's say I got 15 of them to actually get on the call with me. So I have 15 divided by 20. I had 75% of my leads get on the phone. And then out of those 15, let's say I had 3 of them join. I don't know what your closing rate will be. If you're talking to them one-on-one, it'll probably be higher than if you're not talking to them one-on-one. But let's say that you had 5 out of 15 that joined your program. well, then you've got a 33% conversion rate from lead to sale. Does that make sense? So, I mean, it's basic, it's just simple math. If you're doing it online, you know, like what I would do for tonight, for example, is I would say, okay, how many people attended this webinar? And I haven't counted yet how many people signed up for the Inner Circle. But if I said, okay, my goal from this webinar was number one, to provide value. Number two, to get you guys to try the Inner Circle. Well, let's say that I had 150 people on this webinar. I don't know what the number was. And let's say that I had 40 people become Inner Circle members. 40 divided by 150, that means I had a 26% conversion rate on this webinar. I honestly don't know how many people took the membership tonight, but that's how you determine that. Okay. So Mike says, once you get a lead, what's the secret to enrolling them in your business? Well, that's the funnel part of it. Remember, guys, there's two parts to being successful in promoting your business. Number one is the ad that gets their attention. Now, whether you're doing free advertising by going out and, you know, sharing content in Facebook groups and YouTube videos that you're hoping people find organically when they search YouTube, the thing is that getting them in the funnel is one part. There is no one secret, Mike, to enrolling them in their business. There is no one script that you are going to say. There are phrases that can certainly help. There are questions you can ask. I would say that the biggest secrets I have in my funnel are building the relationship before I ask for the sale. That's probably if I had to give you the biggest secret, it is I am going to demonstrate my value for people, and I'm actually going to help them so they know that I really am what I say I am, and I remove all of their skepticism by just helping them. Okay, one of the people I have followed for years and has been a great mentor to me has been Frank Kern. And Frank Kern says, show people you can help them by actually helping them. That's what I do. So to me, that's the simplest way. So I think the secret to enrolling people in your business, if I had to give you one secret, although there's not one, it would be when you get on the phone with somebody, don't be so damn eager to sign them up. Ask them questions. Learn about them. Ask them, listen, why'd you click on my ad? Why'd you message me? What's going on in your life that has you interested in more information on the thing that we're on the phone to talk about? And then
Miss Sherry, that part right there, just being authentic and loving on somebody, was the piece that I knew that once we get started, you are going to excel at.
Thank you so much.
That right there. I just got to get us to the spot where the person's saying hello. And that part right there about really being, I mean, everybody, I don't know everybody here very well, but Mike, same thing about you. But before we get to the business part, how are you? That's, y'all both are above average in that space.
Thank you.
Yeah, Shahid and I are. Do you have any questions we can get to the task? And then we're going to help you, but we don't feel loving on at that first interaction without us purposely turning that on or being very intentional. Yours, and I know Mike's, I can't speak for everybody, is like how I'm good in math. Like is the thing that's your extra thing. So anyway, I just wanted to highlight that I recognize it, and I'm looking forward to unleashing it to the marketplace.
Okay.
Listen more than you speak, and then use the things that they tell you are their hot buttons for why they said they're interested. Use that to close them. Use their own words to close them. I hope that helps to answer your question. All right, Cynthia has clarified. She says, are you going to create a product on creating and marketing Facebook ads like the Ultimate Marketing Formula that I purchased? So yeah, good question, Cynthia. So what I actually have what's interesting about Facebook ads is that you know, the platform changes a little bit here, a little bit there. They change their policies from time to time. You know, the interface changes here and there. They add new features, new objectives, and you know, it's just constantly changing, which is one of the reasons why this Inner Circle membership will be so valuable, because like I have some new types of testing strategies that I'm going to be doing that I could have never trained on 3 months ago because they didn't exist. Facebook has things now called messenger ads, where the whole goal of the campaign is to get somebody to send you a Facebook private message, and you can keep track of who, you know, how many people are actually sending you messages, and then you can even set up automated conversations with them, and it's crazy what you can do. I haven't tested that yet, but I'm gonna, and you're gonna be able to see inside my business the results of that and what I do whenever I do test that. So what I can tell you is this, Cynthia, what I'll be teaching in the Inner Circle is going to be the most up-to-date. That was always been my biggest challenge with teaching Facebook, is that there's so many new strategies. It's not that the old strategies, you can't use them, because most of what I teach is more about messaging, and you know, good direct response messaging is going to be relevant for years and years and years. But a lot of the tactics, you know, the new whiz bang buttons that you can press to try a different objective or whatever, and features inside of a Facebook account, you know, that's the kind of thing that where this Inner Circle will be so incredibly helpful for people. So I hope that kind of helps. And Cynthia, thank you, by the way. You own everything of mine except for a couple of things. You know, reach out to me if you've got any questions about, you know, some of the other products that I've got and what this Inner Circle will contain and so forth. But Linda says, I've joined the Inner Circle. I'm excited to learn and implement. That's awesome, Linda. I'm excited to have you on board. I'm excited to help you on your journey. Let me just, for the very last thing I'm going to do, I want to call out just a few people. Congratulations, Suzanne, Christine, Patricia. These are all people who joined the Inner Circle tonight. Sandra, Larry. Let's see, who else? It's hard for me to see. Clovell, I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly. Starla, Rajiv, Gabriella, congratulations. Cynthia, Julie. God, I hope I'm not missing anybody, but I know it.
Okay, I think that's it for today. So kind of give y'all a synopsis of what's going on here. Talking with Rambus, I was saying that again, we the truth. We just got to be able to get it out to the marketplace. Both of us have built in the network marketing space and learned how to meet a friend through a friend, which would be my relationship with Kevin Crump. I met Kevin Crump through Shahid Salam. That would be Taprooting. I met Sherry Hager through Janice Riggs. That would be Taprooting. I met Cisco years ago when I was buying some. I had a bid in for. We were rehabbing a house and we were buying about $10,000 worth of stuff. Cisco was the manager at the at the Home Depot. That's more cold market, making a friend. So we've done, and Rambus has his own story to that effect. So we've done that part of network marketing at a high level. Shahid has as well, of course. I'm just talking about myself. And when I watched what Epic had done, and that David Luciago had $100,000 a month, and as I heard him talk, and I've had a conversation with him via Zoom, it's from meeting people online and making a friend, and then doing everything we know how to do at that point. So step one is meeting the person, then the PS3, the three-way call, the rapport, all the other stuff. So I was telling Rambus that we need to get better at this side of it so we can do the other stuff. So they got two sides. Well, Jeff Olson used to say high tech and high touch. So I have I'm very competent in a high touch perspective, as like I said, Shahid. So the thing was now to get good at the high tech side. So I went looking for different people, and this isn't the only person that I found that I study from. And so the guy's name is Tyson Zahner. He impressed me.
Hey, Tyson's Honor here. I help small business owners and entrepreneurs to get more leads and more sales and grow their businesses online.
So this is Tyson, right? We paid for the course. And then from paying for the course, he had this thing called the Inner Circle, which that whole thing we just finished watching was webinar to add value to get his audience to the inner circle. So the original thing we brought was the attract 100 leads in 30 days. I think we paid $600 for it, and then we started paying $100 a month for the inner circle so we can get good at high tech. So what we watched now is right here. So every month we pay for the inner circle. One of these things have opened up that I saw, right? So it was just this, and then so every $100. So it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months that we've been doing it, maybe 6 counting this was the first one. So that being the case, and so this is the main course which Nona's been diving into for the team getting smarter at it, and there's a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm only showing you so that way you can if you want to. Like this isn't like this is no secrets for what we're working to do. So we probably could have been in this part, Facebook ads that convert, but when I saw that the inner circle part of it had this to the side, I decided to tap Cisco and Miss Sherry on the side for this part. Because once, like he said, there's two pieces of his world, the actual funnel itself, which Nona's working on, and then the ad. So I said, while Nona's perfecting the funnel side, we can get smart on the ad side to help ourselves as we get the funnel. And this is where everybody else is, right on cue. If you watch the first video, this is exactly where we are. And clicked here where we were today. And what we just did was in 2 sessions, this being the second one, watch just one video. And it probably make more sense to stop here and start fresh next week. Although we got an hour allocated still left. And then now the next part, when we start next week, will be just cutting this one on and then adding the pieces. So, and then once we get this, ideally, we're probably going to take 2 different sessions based on what we did the last time. Well, this one was easier. We did less talking, I guess. So I still don't think we'll get it done in one session. So that's this one. So this will be 2. Then we're going to go right to here, 2. And yeah. And so that's the process. And while we're doing this, we'll be setting up to turn the actual stuff on. The split testing was super decent for me as one takeaway. And that's all what I like to everybody kind of take away from today so we can all learn from each other. My biggest kind of takeaway was that he had the same exact copy with 4 or 5 different pictures. And he was testing that to that level of specificity, and that his ad got closed for 5 words inside the copy. So I'm looking forward to getting my specificity skill set up so that way we can go get to where we want to get to. One of the things that I did, Kev, for me, I'm talking to all y'all, but this is a better way when I talk, I pick a person, was I said, okay, to get $1 million a month, which is the highest goal here, is 75,000 people, right? And he did this with the $40 to $20 that he kept flipping, right? That's what we call it where I'm from. And if we were able to get solid subscribers, whether they did the network marketing side or not, just somebody that wanted to learn how to trade and they didn't go to the Sunday Q&A, Business Builder Academy, all they did was trade, watch me and CJ, and then come to the Saturday Q&A to ask questions. That's all. The person, my avatar, my ideal person isn't y'all, right? That finding y'all is the specialty of a higher vibration, right? My core thing is, can I find somebody that really legitimately wants to trade, and once they get good at trading, they'll see the value of the 20 pip a dip indicator, and even as a profitable trader, they'll still want to pay the subscription because that tool is amazing. So that's me. That they don't know anything about trading or they've been trading for forever. They meet me or one of y'all, whoever the bridge is, they find out that we're the truth. Then they find out that Coach Max is amazing. Then they find out that once they become profitable, because where I'm from, as soon as I got good at trading, 8 out of 10 people gonna cancel the membership because now they know how to trade, right? But the person I'm looking for is having that maybe as the first thought process, but when they see the 20 pip and dip indicator and how easy it helps you as a lifting tool to get to your results, they'll keep the subscription. Who I think Mike Edwards is, right? So like that's my ideal person. So finding 75,000 of them people in the midst of billions of people is the kind of formula for each of us, right? So, Kev, I figured if it costs us $50 to find each person, that's 3.75 million to make $1 million a month. And the whole 3.75 is the way he was talking about the 35,000. It don't come in just one bill. It's investing and reinvesting and then going piece by piece. And with this model, and then however, the different amount of people we see on Facebook. Well, let's Google it. Let's Google it, Ms. Haygood. Hey, Google.
Nothing wrong in investing in your own business.
Absolutely. I knew you were following me. That's why I said your name first. How many people are on Facebook? Hold on. I'm silly.
Wow, that's crazy.
So this Ms. Haygood, I try to get the spots where I'm not guessing for myself. So 75,000 people divided by 2.8. I need to make that billion. That's 2%. So 2% of Facebook, and we good. So anyway, that's how I looked at it. Is that first I'll be willing to do that for myself, and then as the network marketing part kicks in, we really are the 75,000 subscribers is coming through 3 legs of business with other leaders in the meanwhile. So I'm looking forward to everybody here, if they want to be able to do that for themselves, as we just turn the machine on and just be the truth on the other side of the introduction. So that was my takeaway, is that the level of split testing that he does, he can weed out his ponies from his horses. So I would love to get anybody or everybody else's feedback, and we got a little bit of time, and then we'll wrap this one up.
I just want to make a point that with those numbers, I don't know.
Hold on, Miss Sherry. Come on your camera. I'm coming on mine now.
Okay.
Now, let me stop sharing my screen. Let's get to the when you start talking, people lives change.
Oh. Let me see. Am I on here?
Not yet. Talk to me.
What I really liked and what drew me to
Cut your camera on, Miss Sherry. Cut your camera on.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, I need them to feel you. Like there's a different thing happening now.
All right.
There we go.
Okay. What drew me, we don't talk about it much, but it's still in existence, is the fact that with this, no matter what, you're leaving a legacy, because Epic will give your family, God forbid, if something happens to you, this residual income. This is serious. Nobody does this. And to think that you could have 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50, 100,000, $1 million a month being divided between all your kids and your grandkids and what have you, that in itself is enough to say, I ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be here to build this thing, because not only am I going to benefit at the present of the income coming in, but God forbid, after I close my eyes, it's still going to keep on working for me. This is better than an insurance policy, because it's like, I mean, it keeps going. It's like the ever-ready battery, keeps going and going and going. So I think that is just phenomenal. And I have been in several network marketing businesses, and I have to give Dan kudos. I know he does stuff for selfish reasons, but in his selfishness, it's beneficial to all. And that's what makes it beautiful. Nobody has ever offered to produce or put up any amount of funds to advertise for me in any business I've had other than my own money. So just to think that someone would do that, it's like, okay, I got to step up my game. You know what I'm saying? I can't let Dan Allen down because he's going this is going the extra mile. So to God be the glory. I thank God for you. I thank God for all of you. The ladies are inspiring. The guys, to see you young guys in here, and I call you young because all of you could be my children. So, and that's exciting that I'm even communicating on the level with people that I could have given birth to in this area. You know, I have so much to be grateful for to be on this platform with you guys. I'm just in the back of you looks like the Northern Stars back there. It's gorgeous. I love that. I just love that. So yeah, that's my input. Yes, it is powerful. I'm excited about growing. I'm excited about getting that income flowing back, you know, and I just know it's just a matter of time before it's going to happen. So that's Miss Sherry signing out.
I got words in my head, but I don't want to take away from the call by putting the light back on me. This is our time as the community. So I'm going to just say I received that and shut up. Next person, please.
So I was going to say.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cisco.
All right.
Go ahead.
While Miss Sherry was talking, I unmuted. I was gonna just jump in there and say facts with everything she was saying, right? But just looking at this, like this is, I want to say almost like a no. Nobody here can't really fail. Like this is just like, so when I think of the whole marketing and advertising thing, like I said to you the other day, Dan, is just we're becoming those folks who usually when we're on Facebook or any type of social media that we see that kind of are selling to us, and us always being entrepreneurs and business minded. I know for myself speaking anyway, I add like what we're about to get ready to do always catches my attention. Oh, you know, trying to get more leads for your business, this, that, and the third. And you know what? Like 1 out of 3 ads, I'm probably that catch my attention. I'm gonna click on whether I buy or not. I'm gonna click on. So, you know, coming forward, us being those folks and looking for folks that are kind of similar to us, it's a game changer. Like it's something else. It's just like, so I'm excited about it. That's really all I gotta say, and just grateful to have you guys as our leadership.
I also do want to say, not to cut you off, they're talking about people not wanting to go back to work because now with this stimulus money being out there, they're not finding anything compatible to the extra $300 a month that they're getting a week that they're getting. And so this is really an opportune time to be putting these ads out there while the people are still at home collecting this stimulus and extra unemployment. We need to speed this process up so we can get this stuff going so they can not think about going back to work at all, right, and try to work this thing so we can get them groomed and in trading and building. So, you know, they'll just have to find other people to work those jobs.
Facts all day.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in and say this here because my niece kind of mentioned it earlier, and Miss Sherry just hit it right on the nose. I mean, in business, like we always say, association is everything. And we heard so many times, if you're around 9 broke people, you guarantee to be the 10th one. One of the things that I love about what's happening, what's transpiring here is this. We no longer have to find like-mindedness. We have it right here in this nucleus, in this community, in this, business partnership. So, I'm blown away with the idea and the notion that, hey, look, my association, I have business partners, I have folks that are sharp, people that are receptive and open to constantly sharpening up their acts for the better future of everybody. And like I was telling the group that I'm working with, I said, listen, man, the only way you won't be successful if you don't show up. If you don't show up, then it's not going to happen for you. But if you continue to show up, it's going to happen, because that power, that law, that the law of attraction, and the laws that vibrate and circulate through the creation and the forces of creation. Sometimes we get real corny when we think about stuff, but for real, it's good stuff. It was a statement in Star Wars where the guy said, may the forces of good be with you. And the guy turned around with confidence and said, the forces of good is always with you when you're doing the right thing, when you of course, vibrating with the right energy and things of that nature. So I'm super excited about what's getting ready to happen. And I have to say, echo the sentiments of what Ms. Sherry said regarding the business opportunity. When I was involved in prepaid legal services, man, I had over 2,800 people in my organization. And every bit of money that I earned, which was a consistent 6,005, but my best month was 8,005 per month. I have to say this: no one has ever done anything for me in the organizational structure I was building. No one put up any money. No one did anything about the super Saturdays that I put together, the weekly briefings that me, Mike Edwards, and so many other folks that were running with me, that was locking arms with me, was putting together so we can have a weekly briefing in our area every week. That wasn't anything coming from anyone other than our pockets. So to see this level of leadership put together a program that you don't have to even have a second thought to put any money up until you get the founder. I get goosebumps when I think about it. To get the founder one, you got two options. You can literally go ahead and jump in and make your process faster, like Mr. Allen said, and participate in your own ad, where you can just definitely just show up and benefit from what's going to happen as a result of you showing up. And with that, I'll turn a call back over to you, Mr. Allen. But I'm jacked out of my goddamn mind about what's going to happen, because I've never in my life had a program put together whereby we can receive leads and benefit from it. So I'm super excited about it.
Awesome. I received that. Anybody else got anything to add value to the group? I've learned that it's a give and receive thing, and so the magic is in the giving, though, right? So, but if not, fine, we can wrap up. But and then if you do got something to say, if you can come off the let your camera be seen, so it's like we're talking. Great. If not, I understand too. But Cornell, let's go, sir. You up?
Yes. It's really, man, so much been given. It's hard to actually give anything, because I've been more in the receiving mode. So I'm blessed from all the energy that the whole family, everybody in the circle is actually providing. I'm just ready to continue to push the pedal and get started. Because even when I'm hearing these numbers of 5,000 a month, 2,000 a month, just like almost in trading, when I have a successful trade, no matter, as long as it turns blue, 50 cents or $1, I'm excited. Even in the currency that I invest in, if it goes up a penny, I'm excited. So I try to have a level of gratitude for each milestone, no matter hard. And I'm just excited to be able to reach the level where I'm saying that, to being plugged in, to being a leader, and just tapping into that I can reach the level to be able to make $1,000 a month in residual. I never even hit that mark. So seeing the 5,000 a month and beyond is great, but I'm excited about the shorter milestone of getting to the point where I know I'm getting $50, I mean $100 a month. I mean, sorry, I was paying for some gas at the same time. $1,000 a month, even if I'm sleeping, and that's only going to drive me and drive others more, because we got so many people that we can influence and inspire that's still waiting for the results. And so to be able to be attached to the leadership and a platform that you're rolling out that helps us to have more results is just epic. Because again, when you have results, you don't have to sell anything. People want to attach to those who are successful. And if our results is being successful, then we have no choice but to pull in people from the warm market, cold market, hot market, because like you said earlier, we are it. And people will start getting attached to the ish because they want to be a part of that. So I'm excited. I want you to keep leading, and everybody on the call, just keep bringing that energy, because collectively we do far more than we will individually.
Awesome, awesome. You know, one of the things that's going to be super fun, especially in your group, that's going to come when it's already on, but as we brand it better, our six-figure trading program, where a person goes founder and can make 5 pips in the market, and I'll put up the money so they can trade like me and CJ doing. So people can just, okay, I'll pay the description, learn the skill, and then put the money for me to trade. Let's get to it. So thank you for your input. Anybody else? Who's up next? Going once. Going twice. It's a little loud in my house. Okay. 3 times. Okay, so thank y'all for being here. Normally we would go, like I said, the 3 hours. Or Cisco Masheri, is it smarter to stop it here and let this be the full blaze of it and end up going longer into the weeks by cutting it, or do we start the second video now and whoever got to leave can leave, and we get our full time together invested?
I personally, I think it's probably best to not start the video today, the next one, and go next week and try to complete that full training in the one setting, in the one sitting, if possible.
It's 2 hours and 52 minutes. We're definitely not going to get it done in just one setting anyway. So that one will be 2 weeks from now.
Either way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you vote? I just want to give you information. Do you want to spend this other hour getting started? Okay. Michelle, are you good with that?
I'm good.
Okay, everybody else, I'm sorry you don't get a vote, but if you got to go, I understand. It's going to be a recording. If you can stay, that's perfect. Let's get to the party. We'll move some stuff around. Okay. We just did that one. We are here.
Tonight's going to be a bit more action-based. I'm actually going to walk through, and I'm going to build some Facebook ads for you in real time. And I'm also going to walk you through kind of some frameworks that you can use for using Facebook ads. Specifically, we're going to be talking about 2 different types of Facebook ads that will be really beneficial for those of you who do not have a website, or maybe you don't have an autoresponder set up yet, or maybe you just get a little bogged down by all of the technical stuff like building a web page and, you know, getting conversions and putting pixels on pages and all of that kind of stuff. Well, if that's the case, then tonight's training is definitely going to be very helpful to you, because we are going to be building out ads that do not require a website at all. Some of them. I'm going to be showing you how to build certain types of ads that do not require an autoresponder whatsoever, where basically everything can be done right inside of Facebook's ecosystem. And a lot of the things I'm going to show you can even be done outside of just ads. It doesn't have to necessarily be running Facebook ads. You're going to see a lot of really cool, neat little tips and tricks. And honestly, a large part of what we'll be talking about right at the beginning of tonight's training is going to be really going to be built around writing compelling copy that moves people to action whether you're doing that in a Facebook ad or whether you take this exact same type of copy and you put it in an email, or you put it in a regular post that's not an ad, or you put it on your website as in a blog post. It doesn't really matter what format or what media you're using, whether it's Facebook ads or not. It's just that I know a lot of you are still kind of struggling to figure out Facebook ads. And so how many of you would like it? Do you think it would be beneficial to you to actually watch me, have me pull up my screen and show you right over my shoulder, building ads exactly like I do, like from start to finish, writing the copy and everything? If that would be helpful, just give me a shout out in the comment box and let me know if this is something that you think would be useful and beneficial. And if we don't get any yeses, we'll just call tonight's training over, and or you can tell me what you want to learn about instead. We can do that too. Okay, Christy says sure. Suzanne says absolutely. I love it. Great. Let me see a few more comments. And Ronald says yes. And just as a reminder, what I'm going to share with you is not only for Facebook, especially a lot of the ad copy stuff. So just because, in fact, I should probably go ahead and pull up my PowerPoint presentation here. Give me just a minute. All right. So you probably can see that the original name of tonight's training was going to be lead ads and messenger ads is two of the main ones we'll be focusing on. And I'm going to show you how to extract leads from Facebook without a website, without an autoresponder, even if Facebook hates your niche. And the reason I say even if Facebook hates your niche is because of this. Brenda says, isn't that what April's training is? Good question, Brenda. I'm going to come back to that. I'm glad you asked that. So let me clarify real quickly the whole thing about if Facebook hates your niche. Many of you may have heard that I had some issues with my Facebook account getting shut down. All right. This was back in back about a month ago. And one of the things that we have discovered is that Facebook gets a little bit fussy in certain markets. If you're talking anything about how to make money, how to generate leads, how to increase your revenue, it's almost like not a matter of if you'll get your account shut down, it's just a matter of when. And in one of the last member review calls, I covered exactly how I've continued to keep running ads. I've opened new accounts, and I shared all of that in a previous training. But one of the things that's nice about messenger ads and lead ads is that we can run a much more compliant front end message just to get someone on our list. And then once we get them into our own ecosystem, once we get them off of Facebook's ecosystem and into ours, then we can be a little bit less Facebook compliant. Now, am I suggesting that you should say things that are not compliant with the FTC? No, you should never do that. In fact, I believe you should write ads as if, you know, the head honcho at the FTC is sitting over your shoulder, ready to, crack the hammer down on every little word that you say. So I do believe that you should be careful. But at the same time, there are certain things that you have to be careful not to say on Facebook. And this is true in the make money world. It's true when we're talking about generating revenue, but it's also true when you're making like health claims. That's a big one. You know, Facebook gets real fussy about if we're going to be promising people can lose weight or get in shape or get rid of their illnesses or all of these kinds of things. And so what I can show you how to do is create some ads that will get people, that'll still be compliant, get people onto your list, whether that is a Facebook Messenger list, because here's the thing. While Facebook can control what you say in an ad, once that person is on a private message, even if it's on Facebook Messenger, that is a private communication between you and another person. And at that point, Facebook's compliance is out the window. Now, like I said, don't take that to be free reign and say whatever you want and get yourself in trouble with the FTC, making all kinds of hyped up claims. But at the same time, we can use this as kind of a twofold strategy. So that's part one. Then to address what Brenda asked, she said, isn't that what April's training is about creating Facebook ads? So yes and no. Brenda, I'm glad you brought that up because I do want to distinguish what the difference is between April and this month. It is definitely not going to be a rehash. Think of this as almost like an add-on. If you've been with me all the way since April, or if you have the April training, and then you have the Facebook, the training from, I guess it was August maybe, on how to do Facebook Lives, think of each one of these times I talk about something new about Facebook as being like an add-on to the course. It's like you're just getting a wide range of almost everything that you would need to know to succeed with Facebook advertising. So back in April, we really focused on story ads, okay? And I'll be incorporating a little bit of story into tonight's training in one of the ads that I'll write. But by and large, guys, what we're really doing here is I've never covered messenger ads, which is a specific type of ad, and we've never covered lead ads. And one of the things I'm covering tonight that I've never touched on or shown before is how to automate with mini.
Cisco, I don't know it deep yet, but there's a huge distinction he's making between a messenger ad and the lead ad. I'm going to be great at both someday, but today I'm just saying there's two different types of ads.
Okay.
Chat. So many of you guys who I'm going to be showing you an in-depth review of how to use a software called ManyChat. So how many of you guys, let me just ask this question. How many of you guys have either been seen my ads or someone else's ads where right in the ad, they say, comment more info below. And there's some ads where they comment more info and you have to wait on that person to get back to you. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. And I know like Brenda has run those types of ads before and she had to personally respond to every person. Well, what ManyChat allows you to do is to automate the whole process so that even if you're sleeping or you're out on the golf course or whatever, when somebody comments more info or yes or whatever keyword you choose, you can automatically have ManyChat send them a private message. You can even ask for their email address. You can send their email straight over into your autoresponder if you want to. If you don't want to use your autoresponder, you can even set up automated messages right inside of ManyChat. And here's what's really great. ManyChat is super simple, totally non-techy, and it's only $10 a month per Facebook page.
Ms. Haygood, I'm paying for your ManyChat and I'm going to be running it.
Works for me.
Right, or the staff member. That's why we hired them.
All right.
Excuse me, per Facebook fan page or business page. So I have like 3 business pages, so I pay $30 a month, 10 for each one. But for the rest of you, it's $10. So, and then we're going to be talking a little bit more in detail about kind of the different parts of a Facebook ad and how to set that up. And then I'm going to be talking a little bit for those of you who do have your own autoresponder, some of the automation that needs to go into place to connect. Like if someone gives you their email address through a Facebook message, through Messenger,
Cisco, Keep is my autoresponder. So the staff member for me is going to have to tie this stuff in for Keep. But there's another autoresponder that we used to use called Aweber years ago that's inexpensive that you may want to get ready for instead of Keep.
Aweber, okay.
you can automatically zap that. This is why I call it Zapier, or they call it Zapier. It sends these little things called zaps. It zaps their email off of Messenger into your Aweber or your autoresponder account, whatever that is. So, Brenda, does that help? Does that kind of clarify what the difference is between tonight's training and April? We're going to be covering a lot of stuff that we did not cover back in April. So this is definitely going to be a very valuable add-on. If you'll let me know, Brenda, if that does clear it up, that would be great. And then what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and dive right in to tonight's training. So give me just a minute to get some stuff pulled up here. All right. So everybody can see my screen, I presume. And what I want to do is I want to start by talking about the 3 main parts of a Facebook ad. Okay. I want to really simplify this for you because a lot of people really they overcomplicate Facebook ads. There's really only 3 parts to a Facebook ad. There is the most important part of the ad. Does anybody want to guess what it is? I'd like some interaction here. When you're scrolling through the newsfeed, well, I'll tell you what, I'll write them down in no particular order. There's obviously the words, right? We call this the body copy is what I call it, all right? You've also got the image or the picture. and then you've got the headline. Those are going to be the three
I pick
main
headline
parts
first,
of any Facebook ad.
picture
So
second,
who can tell me,
body third.
out of those three parts, which part do you think is the most important? In other words, which part grabs the user's attention the
The
most?
image, the
Because
picture.
they're scrolling through their
Okay.
news feed. What's the first thing that is going to be most likely to make them stop and say, hold on, what's going on here? I think I
agree
want
with
to
the
look at
picture.
this and maybe pay a bit more
What's your
attention.
vote, Miss Sherry?
Right.
I say the picture.
Picture first? Okay, perfect. Anybody else before we go?
I think heading. I think the heading, the headlines.
Okay.
Me too. I think the headline too.
3 for headline, 2 for picture. Let's go.
Seeing Wayne said headline, Lisa said
Headlines too.
4 for headline.
This is a bit of a trick question because you've probably heard people say over and over, the headline is the most important part of any ad. I've heard it. And so if you're saying it's the headline, you are in good company with a lot of good old direct response marketers from back in the day. But that was back when we had like newspaper advertising, when it was only text. Now with Facebook, it's the picture. The
Ooh,
picture is the first
there
thing
we
that's
go.
going to grab their attention and make them say, I wonder what this is all about. Maybe I should look more. Then the headline. Now, when I say headline, I'm talking about the part. Let me see if I can get an example here pulled up. Give me just a minute. Okay. So here's one of my Facebook ads. The headline, like this is a picture. Okay. So that's the first thing that's going to grab people's attention. Then the headline is usually it's kind of weird saying headline because usually when we think headline, we think it's at the head of the page. It's the very first thing. And most of the time headlines are, but in this case, it's the biggest text and it's these words right below your picture. This is going to be the second thing because if the image captures their attention, they're probably going to go to the biggest words and see, is this something I actually want to pay more attention to? And then the third most important thing is going to be the body copy. This is going to sell them on taking the next step. Okay, so if we know that that's the order of importance, let's rearrange this a bit. Let's say image is the first thing we want to talk about, headline is the second, and then the words or the body copy is the third thing we want to talk about. And what I want to do is I want to give you some frameworks for each part of the ad. So let's do this. Let's start by talking about the image. Here is what I have found works best for me with images. Sometimes it's credibility, okay? But I know that may frustrate some of you because you're like, well, Tyson, that's great if you have pictures of you speaking on stage or pictures of you winning awards. That establishes credibility. But what about those of us who are brand new? Well, here's some really great news. What actually works even better for me than credibility most of the time is what I call native new day. All right. Now, for those of you who've been through the Fast Start training, a native new day image. What do I mean a new day image? I mean, you guys have all heard me talk about the new day journey. If you haven't, you need to go through the Fast Start training. The new day journey is where we think about where is our prospect now? What is their life like today that they're frustrated with? And where do they want to be? How will their life be different? Okay. For example, whenever I was in a job, I was getting up at an alarm clock. I had a boss I didn't like. I didn't feel like I could see my kids. I didn't feel like I could go on vacation when I wanted to. I didn't feel like I could go outside and play with my kids anytime I wanted to because I was always tied up with work. When I reached my business goals, I was able to create freedom. So I have security, I have freedom, but that freedom creates a new type of life. And so and this is what's really great. What do we do on Facebook anyway? We share pictures of our life, right? We share pictures of our kids. We share pictures of us going on vacation. We share pictures if, we've lost weight or we've had, a birthday or something big happens in our life, right? So this is real easy to find new day images that are native. By native, what I mean is it blends in with the platform and it looks like other stuff you would see on Facebook, which is great because then it doesn't look or feel like an ad. And what I'd like to do is give you some examples of this. So let me pull up just a few images. These are some that I've used in my ads in the past. And some good examples, like here's me with just a group of people in Chicago. Now, that looks like the kind of thing you would see on Facebook. It's just a group of people having fun. Here's my wife and my sister and of course me skiing. So how is this a new day image? Well, without the freedom of a home business, I couldn't go skiing as much as I wanted to, either because I didn't have the time, I didn't have the money, I couldn't get off work. And so what I'm showing is really what my product helps them achieve, or the benefit that it helps them achieve in a picture form. That, and here's what
Cisco, I just seen the upcoming Fort Lauderdale. Jank, y'all taking pictures. I just seen you on the yacht coming up in June. Y'all taking pictures for your new day image.
Absolutely. You already know.
Somebody take this picture real fast. I got some ad work to do when I get home.
It's not just gonna be pictures, we're gonna have videos.
Oh, yeah. Hold up. You know what? Everybody done. Excuse me. Hit me, give it the camera. I got something I'm gonna go use this ad for. Let me get the right background.
You already know.
truly interesting, I can create a headline that has nothing to do with this image. A lot of people think, well, what if, does that mean you got to write a headline that says, you know, read this this free report and you too can travel all the time? No, you don't have to connect. And it almost seems counterintuitive, but you don't have to connect your image with your headline at all. And I'm going to give you some examples of that here in just a minute. Headlines are a totally different formula. Here's some others. Here's another picture of my family on a ski trip from a few years ago that I used. This is back when my kids were really little. My daughter, back when she was about 2 or 3. Oh my gosh, my kids they're growing up so fast. And then some more ski stuff. Okay, so obviously we like to ski. Here's my wife and I at the Bon Jovi concert in like the 4th row. So that's another aspirational native, me hanging out at an event with some friends. More skiing stuff. Let's see if there's any more here. And then these are some like credibility and aspirational or like new day native kinds of pictures, because this is me speaking on stage. I know that a lot of my market wants to have they want to receive accolades. They want to walk across their stage for their company. They want to become a top earner. They may want to have the recognition of going to the top. So not only does this kind of picture establish credibility, but it also is kind of a new day benefit of what my product can help them achieve. So I'll have pictures of me speaking on stage. Here's another one. If you go to company events and you get pictures with large groups of people, for some reason I found that large groups of people, at least in my market, seems to work fairly well. And especially when there's a lot of action in the picture. Like here, everybody's raising their hands and hooting and hollering and wooting, and that kind of grabs people's attention. So these are all different types of images that I have used and have had some level of success with. And those are things that I would say fall into the category of native new day images. They blend in, they don't look as much like ads. And if you've got some that add credibility, great. But if not, just doing some pictures that look like they blend in with the rest of the platform is actually going to be better than trying to pick something like a stock photo that looks like an ad. Now, obviously, I should give this quick caveat before we go on and talk about headlines. Obviously, every market is different, so you have to test. This is what has worked best for my market, for home business owners. If I were targeting, I don't know, professional service providers who dress up in suits and ties every day instead of people who want to work from home, maybe maybe my images would need to be different. I would certainly test it. So I'm not saying this is a one size fits all, but I'm just telling you what's worked well for me so that you can take it, model it, and test and figure out what works for you as well. Okay, moving on. Now let's talk about headlines. Okay, so what I want to do with headlines is I want to give you really, first of all, are there any questions about about images based on everything I just told you and showed you. Does that help a little bit with picking pictures either for your posts or for your ads? Does anybody need any clarification before I move on to headlines? I'm going to give you guys just a minute while I put a few different headline formulas up here on the screen. Okay, so let's see. So I have about 6 formulas that I kind of go to. I've taught some of these in previous trainings, but I'm going to give you some more specific examples tonight that you can take, and you can actually use these formulas and the examples that I'm giving you as kind of a jumping off point. So these are the formulas. These are 6 of the main formulas that I like and that have worked well. Yes, Ronald, picture size is important. Facebook gives you those dimensions. And when we get into the live setup part, I'm actually going to show you a free tool that you can use to edit and set up your pictures and to get them sized exactly the way that Facebook wants them for your particular ad. So that's a great question. Just remind me when I get to the part where I'm actually setting up my ads live in front of you, that just remind me if I don't go through that sizing process to show it to you. Anne says, do you recommend having a separate business Facebook page or use your own personal page? So Anne, I'll tell you what, that's kind of a longer answer. I don't want to go into that here. The short answer is, Anne, you cannot run ads from a personal page, not to my knowledge, unless Facebook's changed that recently. You have to run ads from a business page. I've done a video on one of my pages called personal page or fan page, which one should you use? I'll see if I can find that here before we finish tonight and send you guys a link. And if not, just remind me afterwards and I'll post it in our Facebook group at some point so that you can watch that. And that's got the answer to the question. But the short answer is, if you're going to run ads, you really have to do it from a Facebook fan page or a business page versus versus doing it from a personal page. Okay. All right. So headlines. I'm going to show you some examples here, but of each one of these. So how to yay without boo. In fact, all right, well, let me just go through all of them and explain what I mean by each one, and then I'll give you the examples. How to yay without boo. This is going to be how to get something that's awesome without all the stuff that sucks or without all the stuff you thought you had to have. So in my market, one that I would use would be how to attract leads online. Woohoo, that's the yay. Even if nobody's ever heard of you. Boo, nobody's ever heard of me, but I can still get leads even if nobody's ever heard of me. So that would be a good example of how to yay without boo. The call out is where I'm calling out specifically to my market's pains or problems, or I'm calling out to them by name. In other words, I'm letting them know, hey, this ad is for you. Stop and read this because if you have this problem. So a lot of times this uses an if-then type of language pattern. If you're a network marketer, then you need to watch this. See, I'm calling out network marketers. If now you got to be careful. You can't say things like if
you are a seasoned citizen. Hoo, 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 hoo. There you go, Miss Sherry.
Receive it.
Call them out.
You're 30 pounds overweight. You need to watch this video. Be careful if you're in health and wellness. If you have diabetes, don't call them out that way because that is calling out to people's personal attributes. So just be careful with the call out that you're not going against Facebook's advertising guidelines. And by the way, for those of you, I should have mentioned this earlier, go type in Facebook ad guidelines in Google. And it'll probably be the very first name.
Miss Sherry, do you have pictures from when you were stuck in Aruba for those 6 months?
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Okay. We're going to dance. All right.
Here it is. Advertising policies, Facebook. Read through this, please. I can't cover all of this on one night's training, but you'll notice right here, common points of confusion, personal attributes. So they do not want you to say things, here's what you cannot say. Are you Christian, right? So, hey, to all Christians out there. So I have to be careful with calling out personal attributes. So what I often do to kind of get around this, and I'll show you some examples, is instead of using the word you, I'll say something like, all network marketers need to read this, or all business owners who need more leads should watch this video. For network marketers who've run out of people to talk to, read this. Okay, so I try to keep the word "you" out of it, and I try to make it a bit more vague, but still by saying, for business owners who need more leads, they're still going to read that and go, hey, that's me. I'm a business owner. I need more leads. Okay. Common mistakes. This is one I've used a lot with a lot of success. I could say things like, most home business owners struggle because of these 3 common mistakes. Now they're thinking from that headline, well, what are those 3 mistakes? I wonder what they are. Another one I could use would be something like 5 mistakes every home business owner should avoid like the plague. Another one you could do is the what you should never. That's kind of like a mistake. So here's what you should never say to a prospect. And if you're afraid of saying the word "you" because of personal attributes thing, you could say what to never say when talking to a prospect. What never to say when talking to a prospect. So that's how you could eliminate the word "you" from it. Or what never to eat when trying to lose weight, something along those lines. Okay. So we're staying away from personal attributes, but we're still calling out to the people who might be wanting to lose weight or whatever. You just have to get a little bit creative with the way that you rephrase your language. Lists always seem to work really well for me. So I might just say 21 ways to generate leads online. That's one of my headlines I've used. In fact, we'll probably be using that in some of my ad examples tonight. 3 steps to attract high quality leads on Facebook. Those are lists. So I'm giving you a list of things. The secret. All right. So this is one that it's a little harder to explain, but a lot of people think, well, let me just give you an example first. One that I've used very successfully in the past was I struggled in direct sales for 18 years until I discovered this one simple strategy. So what's the secret? The secret is the one simple strategy. Oh my gosh, I wonder what it is. I've got to know what that one simple strategy is. So like a lot of people think that, all right, the people who are successful, the people who've achieved what I want to achieve, they must have some secret that they're not telling the rest of us. And that actually kind of goes along with this last one, the truth about X. These two, secret and the truth, those could almost kind of go together because it's like, all right, you've been withheld the secret for so long and now I'm going to tell you the truth. Whereas the secret, I'm kind of piquing their curiosity by saying something like, here's 5 hidden places where top earners find high quality leads, or 5 beauty routines that Hollywood's rich and famous don't tell the rest of the world about. Something along those lines. I'm coming up these off the top of my head, but the secret is going to give them some curiosity about what is this thing that helped him to get or her to get these results. Now, the truth about X, this is where people believe, all right, I believe there's some secret I haven't been told. I think I've been lied to. And we're joining that conversation in their head by confirming what it is that you have not been told. So I might say, here's the truth about generating leads online. It's simpler than most are told. Or the truth about recruiting new distributors that top earners don't tell their new distributors. So here's one that combines lists, secret, and the truth about X kind of all together. 5 lies that prevent new distributors from creating success in network marketing. Now, of course, I'm creating these for my market because I know my market, but just take each one of those and change it for yours. 5 lies that the weight loss industry, totes to prevent people from losing weight and to keep them coming back, buying their crappy supplements or whatever, right? Obviously that's a little too wordy, but I'm just giving it to you to give you kind of an idea. So do those examples help you to think about how to write ads? Guys, I'll tell you, I usually go to this one as kind of my go-to, my first one. And then if I like to run a test of a few different ones. So what I'll do is I'll pick like 2 or 3 pictures. I usually like to pick 3 pictures and test them because I never know which picture is going to work the best. And then I like to pick 3 headlines. And then I kind of mix all of that up. And what does that give me? It gives me, 9 ads? I think it's 9 ads, because I'm testing three headlines, 3 images. And so that would give me 9 different types of ads that I could test. And what that does is it gives Facebook more data to work with, and then I can just use the same body copy or almost the same body copy on each one. Now we're going to get into body copy next, but I want to clarify where we're at right now with writing the ad itself. Are there any questions about the headline? Headlines are very, very important. It's after they get their attention from looking at the image, the headline is the next thing that's going to determine, should I read more of this ad or not? Does that answer your questions? And can everybody hear me? I'm going to take a quick drink while I wait for your reply. Okay, Yvonne says yes. She's the only one I'm hearing speak to me. So, okay, there we go. How do you come up with 9? So, would you guys let me know if you can see on my screen, if you can see the black box that I just drew on the screen? Okay, let's see if I can draw this in a way that it makes sense. So let's say that I've got, whoa, hold on a minute. Something weird just happened. Okay, so let's say I've got picture 1, picture 2, and picture 3. Does that make sense? 3 images, and then, so I'm going to test 3 images, and then I'm going to try, let's say I'm going to try headline 1 with this, which would be how to yay without boo. And then I'm going to try headline 2, which is maybe going to be my call out, where I say, for business owners who struggle to find leads, you must read this. And then I'm going to try headline 3 with this picture, which maybe is going to be the truth about X, or 5 lies that home business owners are told about lead generation, or whatever, right? But then I'm going to try that. I'm going to do those exact same 3 headlines. I'm not going to change them. I'm not going to rewrite them. I'm going to write 3 headlines, and I'm going to write 3 images, and I'll put those 3 headlines here, and then I'll put those 3 headlines here. So 3 times 3 should be 9. Does that make sense? That's how we get 3.
Cisco, you want me? You want something?
No, I was just saying, this is genius what he just said.
Oh yeah, no, I was about to go down. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's how we get 9 different ads. This image with 3 headlines, this image with those 3 headlines, and this image with those 3 headlines. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that. You could do 2 images and 2 headlines if you want. But all I'm saying is the more data you can give Facebook to work with, because what they'll do is they'll pick the winner for you. They'll determine which ad people are resonating with the most, and they'll just pick that one for you. So what you could do is you could just start with, the same headline with 3 images and just see which image wins, and then you could swap up and then you could do pick the winning image and then put a headline on it. I like to do an image test and a headline test all at one time, and just let Facebook go out and figure out which ad is the winner. Okay, so that is how I come up with 9. All right, so now let me turn the whiteboard back off, and let's talk about body copy next. So any questions about headlines before we talk about body copy? All right, so now I've broken down my body copy into some sections so that you can shorten this. I tend to be a little long-winded, whenever I type and when I write. So, you might, I might shorten this down a little bit, but this was just kind of my first rough draft of this particular body copy. So one of the formulas for writing body copy that works really well is starting by asking a question that identifies a problem. So now, once again, I don't say, do you struggle to recruit new team members? Because that's a personal attribute. So instead, I ask a question like, how do you recruit new team members when you're brand new with no results and no credibility? Now, I know that my market is wondering those kinds of things. They're thinking, man, I know, my upline trainer seems to be able to recruit super easily, but yeah, that's easy for him. He's got results, and he's already recruited people. He's got a team. When people ask him, how many people he's recruited, he has an answer. So I know my market is wondering this question. So I'm starting with something they're already wondering, something I know they're struggling with, something that I know they want to achieve, and a question about something they think is holding them back from achieving that thing. Now, I'll tell you a little bitty thing that, once again, this is all about trying to make the ads look native to the platform. I have found that trying to use these little emojis in my ads to kind of drive home a point here and there, like when I say the short answer is no, and I put like a no sign, like a crossed out sign here, or when I say, in fact, it was worse, and I put a sad face, because people are often using emojis on Facebook, once again, this makes it look a little bit more native. It seems to grab people's attention, and in the event where I put bullets, it really kind of breaks it up. Like these little arrows, by the way, these arrows look blue when I put them in the ad. For some reason, Word renders them differently, but whenever I paste this and I put it in the ad, you'll see that this actually turns out being a blue emoji. So let me take a minute, let me show you how to grab where you get those emojis at. There is a site called emojipedia.org.
Okay.
Emojipedia.org. Let me grab it real quick. So here's the link. Let me put this on the screen kind of big for you, for those of you who don't know what I just said. Okay. There it is.
I'm gonna take a picture of it for myself real quick. I'm sure it's gonna be important in my world in a minute. And my mom like emojis, so I'm about to send it to her. Let me know when y'all ready.
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 Emojipedia.org. Got it? Kind of like Wikipedia, but with emojis. And then what you can do is you can go into Emojipedia and you can search for any kind of, like, for example, in order to find this, let's see, like the arrow for my bullets, I just typed in arrow. And then this one right here that says right arrow, that's the one I used. So I just clicked on right arrow, and then you see where it says copy and paste this emoji. I click on this little blue button, or this little button that says copy. And then when I go over into my Word document and I paste it in, like I said, for some reason, Word pastes a black arrow without the blue box, but on Facebook, it actually pastes it as a blue arrow. And what that does is, it, instead of making my bullets look like a whole lot of text that's really hard on the eyes, it breaks it up. It makes the whole ad look a little bit more native to the platform, and it just makes it easier on the eyes and easier to read, which is probably going to increase consumption of readership of my body copy. Okay, so you know, if I want to go in here and say, see if we've got I don't remember what I searched for to find that little thinking. Here we go, thinking face. So that was the one I used when I said, how do you recruit new team members when you're brand new with no results and no credibility? I just copied and pasted in the thinking face. Has everybody got that? So if you want to use emojis in your ads, that's how you do it. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm expanding on that, and I know that they've got there's things they think they should do. So I'm saying things like, do you try to do this? Do you try to do that? Do you try to build up a huge social media following to look impressive? Should you take pictures next to big houses and fancy cars? Should you spend hours studying your comp plan and becoming an expert on your product or company in order to get people to take you seriously? So I know that's what they think they should do. So then I say the short answer is no, you don't need to do any of that stuff. So now the next logical question going on in their mind is either going to be, well, how do you know, right? Or, okay, but if you don't do it with that kind of stuff, how do you do it? So the next part of our ad needs to either go, see, what we want to do is we want to create a logical sequence in our ad that follows what they're thinking. Notice we're starting with a question that they would already be thinking. Direct response marketing 101 is join the conversation that's already happening in your prospect's mind. I know they're thinking this question. Then I talk about all the things they think they have to do. So this is more talking about what's already going on in their mind. Then I throw them a loop and I say, no, you don't have to do any of that stuff. And immediately they're going to be skeptical. So I'm going to say either, here's how I know, or if you wanted to write a different type of ad, you could say, so you might be wondering, if not that, then how? Well, let me tell you, you do this, this, and this. So the way I did it was I did what I call a discovery story, or my story, where I talk about my own pains and failures. People love stories. This creates credibility because I can show I've been where they are. So I go on by saying, here's how I know. In 2013, after 18 years of failure and multiple direct sales opportunities, I had joined yet another company. Surely this time will be different, I thought. But after a few phone calls to my top 100 list, it became clear that this time would be no different than before. In fact, it was worse. And then I put a little sad face. I had burnt out my friends and family on so many deals prior to this one. They were saying things like, oh my God, not another one.
Shahid, this sounds like something you could have wrote, right?
Oh, how long is this one going to last, Tyson?
It takes me so long once my screen go black. Sorry, once my screen go black, it takes me so, I got to scroll up, put my code in, but I'm like totally in. I see it, but it's weird how I got to re-enter my code when I go to talk.
Yeah, no worries. Well, you see how you put the story of a person that's been in a whole bunch of companies?
Yeah, I can a lot of relevancy there in that respect too. So we just, I'm gonna just rob, steal, and duplicate off this guy, like you said. That way we could just go ahead and get this thing going. We get to that crossroad.
Yes, sir.
Actually had the opposite of credibility. So I decided to turn to the internet in search of an alternate strategy for building my business outside of the belly-to-belly methods that had failed me time and time again. Okay, so notice, first of all, what I've done here. I've talked about, I'm going into my story. I'm talking about I've been where you are. That's all this entire section right here that I've highlighted is I've been where you are. And in fact, I might even have been in a worse place than you are. Okay. Now here is where I discovered the new solution. I discovered the thing that turned it all around for me. So if we break apart this whole section is free, but if we break it apart, we just say, okay,
yes, sir.
So this is for everybody on here. I'm having a quick moment right now. I'm thinking about this. So if you look at what he's doing right now, we are all the stories he's putting up here. That's all of us on here right now. We've been through a whole bunch of stuff. We can genuinely, like you and Shahid just said, rob and duplicate. We can and not be phonies. We can genuinely, like, pretty much take this stuff because we all been through the same stuff. The only people who haven't been through it haven't really even attempted to build some type of business or learn some type of new craft or whatever. So when I'm listening to this, it ties in perfect into what we got going on, into our opportunity. It's magic.
It speaks to the B quadrant side of our project. So like Nasir was saying, and did I say it right? Is because he's off the Naya, is your brother named Nasir? Is that accurate?
My brother's name is Nassau.
Nassau, right. So the way Nassau's perspective is the market to the I quadrant side, which is a different message, but which is perfect about our opportunity because we have two different directions to start from if we wanted to. But like you're saying, and what I'm saying specifically to Shahid, we're going to take his exact words, his exact copy size, and me and Sean gonna write to it. He gonna have to send us a cease and desist letter.
Right. Cease and desist. That's
Too funny.
Cisco, Shahid, we got Shahid a list of 1,000 people that all was in network marketing before, right? Mm-hmm. There's a thing in this world called retargeting, and I don't know it yet. I know what it is, but I don't know it how I need to know it. But we're about to take this same message to that whole 1,000 lists and send it as a retargeting campaign to have them kind of getting it in their feeds, although they never met Shaheed before.
Okay.
Hey, what's the likelihood of me getting a clip, from that scene in prepaid where I was speaking in front of the 8,000 people, man, giving my story. Man,
You got to go
just,
probably holler at Self or one of them people that's an urchin that save everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I'll do.
You got to knock on his door on a Sunday morning, 6 o'clock. Catch you while you're on.
Because we need that for something right there, man. That right there can be a great help. And when he was talking about the imaging aspect of things.
Yes, sir. But that's a credibility picture, which is
credibility.
You earned it all day. But he made a lot of insight on that New Day picture. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So somebody from Prepaid Legal would resonate to that automatically. But we can get you on stage and get a good camera, good brother, and rent out the hall for the day real quick and get you right back on stage fast.
Real quick though, Shaheed, are you gonna be in Miami?
No question. I didn't even hear the promotional information on it, but yeah. Me and the missus gonna be on the set. No question about it. I got to take a, all white, event. I'm gonna be on the set. No question about it.
The reason why I'm saying that, you asking about the some pictures from that older event. Just think about the pictures you're gonna be able to take that weekend, bro.
Oh yeah, no question. Well, no question. Matter of fact, I can't wait to hear, Mr. Aramis' aspect on the promotion after getting him, because I wasn't able to get on the corporate call at 1. But I'm definitely going to be present on the Miami on the yacht event, on the yacht.
There's going to be no 8 o'clock call tonight. He texted that, so the 10 o'clock Joe might not be happening either. He just got to Costa Rica, and it's his Mother's Day. He said.
Okay,
that's for tonight, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I believe the 10 isn't going to be there either. I'll be on the 10 in case, but he definitely put out already that the 8 o'clock isn't going to happen.
Okay.
Okay, good stuff.
Awesome. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Got, credibility. I've been where you are, so I have credibility because I can empathize with you. And now here's the solution I found and how my life is different. So I turned to the internet in search of an alternate strategy for building my business outside of the belly-to-belly methods that had failed me time and time again. I discovered a simple 3-step process. So here's what I discovered when I went searching. A simple 3-step process that I could, now guess what my call to action is going to be? What am I doing right here? I'm planting a seed for my call to action, which is going to come up here in just a little bit. I'm not telling them yet to get the 3-step, because all I'm wanting them to do right now is say, hold on, I wonder what that 3-step process is. If it works so well for him, going to work for me? I wonder what it is. What's the first step? What's the second? What's the third? I'd love it if he told me. So I'm planting that seed here. I discovered a 3-step process that I was told could result in leads chasing me instead of the other way around. What is that? That's a benefit, right? I'm talking about here's where I know you want to be, but I was skeptical for sure. So I put in this little emoji was a skeptical face, but for some reason Word makes a question mark. In Facebook, it actually uses the right emoji. So I was skeptical for sure. So I'm telling you this to say, if you create your rough draft in Word and you use emojis and you get these weird, icons that don't look right, don't worry about it. Just double check it when you put it in Facebook. And I've never had one be wrong in Facebook, even copying it from Word over into Facebook. All right. So what am I doing here? I am empathizing with the fact that I know they're going to be skeptical. I just made a big claim. I was able to stop chasing people, and I now have people reaching out to me, commenting on my Facebook post, asking me if I can help them, asking me if they can buy my products. And so they're going to be going, yeah, right. Yeah. Could this actually work for me? So I'm just empathizing to say I was skeptical for sure, especially considering the countless empty promises I had been told. So I'm cutting off what they're thinking already in their mind before they have a chance to voice it out loud. And then I go on to say, but considering I felt I had nothing left to lose, I gave this 3-step process a shot. Long story short,
So Cisco,
Yeah.
one of the main reasons besides that I want you to win, that I tapped you on the shoulder, is because the days. So when I hear rappers, right, the people that have the most authentic, troubling childhood have a lot of content, right, to their touching to their pain. And so when when you and I have gone through your uh learning curve as an entrepreneur, and those different emotions that you have the ability to touch to, because you speak your truth very well, those are going to be some of the best insight to the mindset of an entrepreneur on their path. And so when I was this stuff here he's talking about, where he can be in the mind of the person he's looking to, some of those days where you've been frustrated and figuring out the pieces is going to feed to your marketing ability to write, or at least talk to the whoever's going to help us with the writing. Does that make sense?
Yep. The as you're saying it, I was thinking if it could, but obviously it can. I was thinking if it could come across just on the writing, the way it come across, like, you know how we're interacting right now. If my camera's on, you get a whole different thing from me versus the writing. But yeah, I got you. I get it.
And when we get to making the videos, the same as you're saying, but that you can speak to that person's, like Shaheed can speak to somebody that's been successful in multiple companies, but at a cap. You know what I'm saying? And then having his family say Shaheed's about to do another one, because they don't get to see the success he's had in those processes, and even in that growth thing. So the way he's making sure he's paying attention to what the other person is thinking as he's writing it is where I kind of like how I know Kev Crump so far, and I don't know Kev's childhood story. He's always been successful, the best I know, right? Because he's elder, he has the record label, and when we talk is Force MDs, this and art and other artists that. So all I got for Kev is this: how you always be successful. Follow Kevin Crump. I mean, that's my picture, right? I got a picture for Ms. Hager from her last thing that I was 58 years old, walking into retirement with faith, being laughed at by my peers. Look at me now, right? That was when she gave that story, that whole thing just stood out, right? And then, you know, we all got our own little stories, but for you specifically, how he's saying they're going to be speculating, I mean, skeptical right here.
Mhm.
And this is what I'm gonna say right here. You can speak to that thought process of the person on the other end with because all of it's fresh for you, right? So, you know, Shaheed talks about when he was an Herbalife, made the 10,000, and then he was a psychologist. He says it super decent. Is a long word. He is like a little phrase that come out like a roll of the tongue, and then he gets into getting into full time, going from 6,000 average, 8,000 high, and then that whole process. The way he would be where you were at is a little bit removed. You know what I'm saying? Because he went through his, if this thing is going to work, how to be a full-time entrepreneur a decade ago. You know what I'm saying? I think you can go touch into it, and then a different demographic, because you and Shahida, and I want to say, Shah, you a baby boomer?
When I was born in '65.
Yeah, I think you're right at the baby of the baby boomers.
Right at the cusp, right at the cusp of it.
Right. So when you get on the camera, a Gen X person might not receive even when you recollect back then, because younger people get to go to you thinking about back in the day. But Cisco looking younger, given the same recollection, will talk to a different audience at the same time. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you do. Absolutely.
But just his specificity was catching my attention right now. We're at 48. We can probably hopefully stop here, do some shucking and jiving between each other, so that way again we learning from each other. And then I'm at 42, so I think that was still some good stuff we got. That the picture is more important than the headline. The headline is more important than the body. That was super decent for me. And I think like when I said when I hired a staff member, Cisco, I'm probably gonna make the staff member watch this stuff so that they have a baseline of what we all are coming from, and then they're gonna have to have already had some copy experience ahead of time, even from there. So let's finish up with closing thoughts so we can close right out on time at the 3 o'clock mark, so everybody can get back to their days and the things from there. And then
I'll go real quick if we closing the thoughts out.
Absolutely.
Definitely, first and foremost, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that's on the line, of course, because it's definitely a time I always treat them with the specialness that they deserve. I think 24/7, 365. And just looking forward to just going through the process of this whole thing that we're working on, man, to see the end results, man. That's the only way. That's the only spot that I can get patient about. Sometimes I gotta discipline my own discipline and say, "Oh, slow down, be patient." But I just can't wait to see, my nephew, my niece, and everybody's on the phone, on the line. Mr. Edwards, making 20, 30, 40,000 a month with his opportunity.
Absolutely. Let me cut my jank on. Anybody else? I mean, like I said,
I'll turn it back over to you, man. I appreciate you.
Absolutely, yes, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Not just man, this thing is great. I'm just glad to be here. It's so much about to go down. It's like I don't even know where to start, man. We good. Let's
your video too. That right there, your pause when you go to grab that thing. Keep that in the video when we start to make the Jones, because the person you're looking for, that's going to resonate positively for them.
Okay.
That you don't try to be polished. You don't know Tony Chambly. He can probably tie you in on that. He was one of the 3 leaders in Philadelphia when I was building early, and he wasn't polished. He would stutter on his words. He would say, "Y'all know what I mean." But he came with high energy, and then somebody else in that leadership pool was very polished. So just keep exactly your authenticity, and then just grab it if it choke up, or you're looking for this word, and then don't look for the great word. You know what I'm saying? That's sometimes I think when I watch you going to grab, you're looking for something cute to say. You know what I mean? So if you relieve yourself of that responsibility and just give what's right here, because you do that better than I do. Just say what's on your heart and stumble whatever it is. But those pauses, they have energy attached to them.
Okay.
Came off authentic too, Cisco. Very authentic and passionate. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something that people can really relate to. Passion and just that raw feeling inside. So stay who you are. It's a beautiful thing, sir.
I received that. Thank you.
That's what I was trying to say.
It's a small world. You said Tony Chambly. I know him back from years ago.
Absolutely. Ms. Hagan, I need you to come on camera though when it's you. Everybody else is okay. I need to get that because you got a different level of facial expressions. It's magic when you get over here. Talk to me, Ms. Hagan.
You cannot start my video. Well, how come it won't come?
Hold on, wait. I might have did that. Hold on. Let me do that. Try now. There we go. Yeah, you walked away and I took it off for you. All right, here we go. So you know Tony Chambly?
Yeah, we did when I was in National Motor Club.
Yeah. Adair was over there too.
Okay, and I've called him since I've been in this as well. Of course, some of my other people have called him as well, but it just lets you know that great minds think alike, and the like-mindedness, like he was talking about, you're going to run into those same circles. Mm-hmm. The difference in this now, and I just think we have the best thing going right now. This is the hottest thing we have a CEO and founder that has already been successful in one venue and is taking that same venue and incorporating into what we're doing now, because all these trips and everything is because he already knows the ins and outs of getting yachts and trips at, I mean, great rates and everything. So I just really think, I don't know about anybody else, my word says your latter years are going to be greater than the past. And I'm just looking at myself and the situation and everything that's going on in the world and saying, yes, the word is true. It's just getting better and better for me, and I want it to get better and better for everybody else, because I want people to prosper. That's my desire, for people to prosper. I'm just grateful again to be in the midst of you guys, and thank you.
Awesome. And a lot of that stuff, the nuanced stuff, is going to be my side of the house, and that's why we're getting a staff member. You just get ready to let your light shine, and we're going to get it popping.
I love it.
Anybody else got anything they want to add to the pot before we close?
Yes, I do. Once again, I've actually been on this call for driving on the Parkway, going from Atlantic City to North Jersey area. Opportunity just listening and absorb it, and to sit back and hear from you, Ms. Hager, Shahid, Cisco, everybody's energy, everybody's different stories that's about to be unveiled. And for me, I'm just thinking about my experiences. At 47 now, just turned, I had tried a number of things, and in my mind I was winning, but in the eyes of everyone else, I was failing. And then even started questioning myself and had totally got turned off from network marketing. I'm talking about, when people didn't even know what Amway was. One day I could remember just being 20 and jumped into Amway, had some success. Then all of a sudden it wasn't working. People wasn't gravitating to the network marketing. I couldn't even generate a list. They tell you start with your warm list, and I'm trying to do that. Family is just see if it worked for you. Friends, ignoring it. They didn't want soap products and the different things. Then one day I graduate college, I see another opportunity, FES with credit. I'm like, okay, people need credit. I think I could do that. Network marketing, I understand it. Part of that, really not too keen on the leadership. I still understood the product, but as I'm trying to network and follow some of the scripts, still wasn't working. But I believed in network marketing, but it just wasn't working. So I'm feeling like I failed. And then you have prepaid legal. Even before Shahid, I was a part of that movement, building organization, but it wasn't enough support. And I was getting burnt out from the added work of trying to sell something to people that was good for them. And totally just got turned off from the whole network marketing side of things. Meaning when somebody would mention the word network marketing to me almost 20 months ago, it was a straight turnoff, meaning like you could talk to me about anything. I was always open. But if you said network marketing, I was done. Because I just felt that people were turned off from it. I was turned off from it because even though I believed in it, I just wasn't having a success in it. And then I started questioning even who I am as a person, saying, okay, I done went to school and got an associate's degree, then turned around and got a bachelor's degree. I'm doing things. Then I come back to the school as a young person, 30, and get elected to serve on the Board of Education. And while I'm at the school board president, my platform is we need to bring financial literacy. Older board members, the other ones saying the kids need to read and write first. You keep talking about this capitalist side, financial literacy, and they couldn't understand it until now. We fast forward a decade of me out of politics. New Jersey incorporated financial literacy as a mandate. And then we think about us going to work, getting educated. Epic movement is all geared around us becoming more financially literate and more financially stable. So now as I'm seeing the platform, I'm understanding the mission, I'm seeing the leadership, I am totally humbled to be able to take a step back, because I've been a person who, as I'm hearing the information, I'm making notes, I'm absorbing, and I'm saying, okay, can I go and try that? Even when I'm looking at the cryptocurrency world and now understand that, a part of my mind now as an investor and trader saying, can I create some currency? So as I'm looking at these applications, I'm looking at the leadership, and even what you rolled out here immediately went to my mind, okay, I can do that. But seeing the community, seeing the leadership, understanding how we rolling it out has been a humbling experience for me, because it allows me to say, I'm not in it alone. So just go ahead and stay in your lane, take a step back. Even though I'm a leader and I can lead, sometimes you just gotta be the Indian. So let me be a great Indian. So it's when it's my turn to be the chief, I'm gonna be a hell of a chief the next time around. So I just thank you. I thank everyone, and let's go. Let's be epic.
Cornell, I just want to say timing is everything. Timing is everything. So all those experiences you had to go through to get you where you are right now, to really appreciate what you have and how this is going to blossom for you. And you put it in the ethereal waves about them getting financial literacy. They took your idea, you know what I'm saying, and put it in the system. So you did not lose. It was just the timing that was a little off. You were just before your time.
Out of your time.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And I totally appreciate that. And just that book, because I went through some shortcomings, and y'all have become aware of it through my story, and been in the press probably more than 100 times when I go back to the accounts of being on the school board. But I'm like, all these articles that I'm reading, that ain't the story that was told about me. So I need to tell my story. And as I'm trying to tell a story, I'm still saying, well, how do I close it? Because the overall mission of me telling a story is to let people know at the end of the day, you can win, and that we can win together. And now I have found a conclusion to this book through Epic and being a part of this platform and the leadership, because now I'm able to add a closing to the story, because through all those experiences and successes and failures, now I have that final piece that allows me to win, that now I can actually put into a story and share with others so they can know that, hey, your path may be different, your story may be different, but this is what I feel you, this is what I felt, and now look at what I found. The 3 F's, just like you said it.
Super
I don't think nobody wants to go after him, Dan.
I'm just going to say praise to the Most High for everybody on this call and our success moving forward. It's a beautiful thing.
I say awesome call. Thank you for everybody's testimony, because I can't, like the brother said, I can't go behind that. you know, but I will say this. One key thing he said was something about leadership, and that's like being in so many different things, and me being a leader in other businesses that I'm in. You know, Mr. Davis said the main thing is the leadership is what we need, and I appreciate you and Shaheed putting this together, because, you know, hey, when you spread yourself thin, but then you got that leadership and somebody to run to say, look how we put this together. This right here, just being able to get these ads together and get some type of structure, man, I think we all gonna be successful and be able to carry it down to the other ones. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking forward to, teaching somebody else.
Absolutely. Which has been your message the whole time, trying to make sure that the next generation wins. I get a chance to know, I think, everybody except Nia here personally. And so I earned Cornell's relationship as of recent. And Cornell, the way I've always looked at it, man, is like, funny enough, is the Super Friends. I was watching the Justice League the other day, the long one now, and everybody is sharp. And then when it's time to go get it in, everybody's sharpness is being respected as is needed. You know what I'm saying? So, I humbly bring what I bring to the table without any apology, but the magic of it here is blowing that whistle and having those other kindred spirits coming in and knowing that they go, like you're saying, like, I don't see the Chief Indian part. I get it from the analogy, but I see you coming in from being Aquaman or Flash or whatever, and coming in, and then as you get your flow together, your whole story then comes together as a part of the Freedom Family movement for this season, and then that branches off because after they finish doing the Justice League, Batman still go back to Gotham and he Batman there, right? So, but then he get to come to the team, and if you ever got a call, the whole team is there. So I'm looking forward to what we're gonna co-create. Anybody else? We're right over the time, but I don't want to skip Mike or Nia if y'all got something y'all want to share before we go.
No, I'm fine. I think it's great.
Thank you, partner.
Mr. Allen, can I just say one thing to the community real quick?
Let Mike go first. Let Mike go first.
I'm
You can
sorry,
close out.
I'm sorry.
Everybody said it's hard going behind you. So hold on one second. Mike, talk to me.
Absolutely. I just want to say to the team that I'm humbled and grateful to be a part of this. I'm looking forward to unlocking the last few combinations. I've had a lot of success, and you know, the retail space I've been in. I've had little success on this side, but I know with the energy and the knowledge and the leadership that I will have the same success that I've had over there multiplied over here. And I just look forward to it. And, you know, being the people person I am, team person I am, that my success is going to resonate to anyone and everyone else around me. And I just look forward to it. That's all, sir.
Listen, Miss Haygood.
Yes.
Let me tell you about Mike Edwards because you don't know him yet. The company was Organo Gold. I qualified for the Mercedes-Benz, right?
Is that the coffee company?
The coffee company, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I got the black CL 550. I pull up to the Ramada Hotel in New Jersey, blah, 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 blah. So I earned it right. So Mike said, I see myself being there. I'm going to get the Benz now. So he went and got his Benz ahead of time because of that retailer success he talked about. But he was sold into who he is going to be because he's going to put the work in. And just every time we had something going on and I needed help and Mike could help me, he jumped in first. And just getting a chance this time around to put some extra help into who he get to be and is the new wife and the whole thing. I am like, let me see. I love you all the same, but like I got a special little Mike. We about to get him going. Yeah, right. I mean, Shaheed, I'm just trying to unleash him so he can go be who he gonna be. But Mike Edwards, I'm trying to go back to the time he kept going to the Ramada setting up for me before I got there. You know what I mean? So that's my guy, Michelle.
I received that, sir. I received it.
Amen.
Yeah, Mike is my guy. So Cornell, the stage is yours, Cornell, when you're done with wrapping up. So just as much as you need.
No, wait. Before he lights camera action, let me say this here real quick.
Yes, sir.
Let me say this here. Yeah, but listen here. A lot of times, it's first of all, from my baby over there, Naya. You keep saying Nia.
Oh, Naya. Okay, thank you, Naya.
Other than that, go ahead and let me rock and roll and close it out.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
No problem, brother. Go ahead, Mr. Cornell.
I'm sorry, not to really close it out and set the stage. One thing that came to mind I just wanted to share is that for all of us on the call, and as we're looking to build out, let's not definitely be afraid of encouraging our kids and our young people because they're absorbing and they're really ready. They're part of this new millennium. And we see what's happening even with Mr. Allen and my son. But just one more testimony. I had my daughter who was a part of IML, college student, invested in her to become a part of Epic. So over the past 2 months, she's been in our university. She's been on a couple of calls. And the other night, and this is just showing me the power, and I had to share it because the other night about 1 o'clock in the morning, I get a message. And for the past few weeks, she's been messaging me about she's been telling me, join the live training, join this class, telling me to log onto the calendar and join all these classes. And I'm like, okay, I said I will, but I'm doing this, just get into your class. So then last night I get a text or the night before, and she said, I had to show you this. I'm like, what? And it's her vision board showing everything she wants to accomplish this summer, 5 things. She says, I want to earn this amount, trade 5,000. I want to save this amount to get a car. And then she writes at the bottom, I'm so happy to be a part of Epic and discover this, whatever the affirmation was, I can't remember. But the point I'm just saying is that after 2 months and her being a part of Epic and coming away from mine and taking advantage of the training, she has already in her own right started to begin to see her vision and work it out and starting to have success in her own trading lane that has nothing to do with me just being plugged in. And I'm starting to see not only her, my son, and now another young person asked me, can they get involved? I told them, look at the call on Thursday. But I just said to the group to say, we got kids, nieces, nephews, as we're plugging in and tapping into this ad community that's going to come, let's not overlook that group of people that's sitting there waiting to be plugged into the opportunity as well.
And this is the guy that was tired of network marketing.
Not no more.
Timing.
Well,
And that's it.
everybody, go ahead, Cornell. I'm sorry.
I was saying that was it.
Oh yeah. So we're right at 3:09. So I hope we use the last 20 minutes smartly. And I'll get this out to everybody, probably quicker to Shahid, and Shahid can get into the group from there. But I'm gonna put this together now, and I look forward to seeing y'all next week. And when we get done the whole thing, we'll turn it on. Well, we could turn it on ahead of time. As soon as everybody got the ad done, we'll go.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Have a great week.
Cisco, give me a holler.
All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Mother's Day to you all again.
Thank you so much. Stay safe. Be blessed, everyone.
All right.
That's Jamie's.
Good day.